Hello, you beautiful freaks. I'm your host, EJ Leeson, and welcome to a brand new episode of Back Talks. And with me today is my co-host, long-time listener, first-time caller, Rory Colorasi. Hello, sir. How are you?
I think you did that backwards.
I changed it up. No, but what's up? How's it going?
I just thought you might want to identify
Do you want
the
me
show.
to keep it? We're doing
welcome
prequels.
to Back Talks. It's supposed to be the prequels.
At this point, they should know what they're doing.
Hello, you beautiful freaks. Welcome to a brand new episode of Frequels. I'm your host, EJ Leeson, and with me, as always, my co-host and Back Talk's #1 fan, Rory Colorasi. How are you, sir?
Hey, for all those people listening at home, I messed the beginning up 3 times because I couldn't think of anything funny to say. He said Back Talk. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Sorry.
You know, and it's a reference to the movie we're talking about today. And if you had missed that, I would have been like, EJ, what the fuck? But it's on me. It might be the sweltering heat.
It could be.
It can be. It is a hot.
It is
hot
very
day.
warm in here.
It's
Yeah.
almost like it's May or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, scorching May. But, of course, joining us, as always, as you always do, rocking his overalls from Oshkosh Bagosh, the podkeeper himself, Young Vince. What's up, baby?
Hey, dude, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm fantastic. Living the dream, baby.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah, that's good. That's great to hear.
Hey, guess what? I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, guess what?
What?
I'm excited.
I knew you
Hey
would.
guys, guess what?
What's
I don't
up?
have feelings.
Doesn't know what excited is.
Not a one.
And today we also have 2 special guests. First, the man behind the music for the short film Burden of Beauty, Ghostbusters expert and owner of Gravy Diggers, Mr. Renaldi. How are you, sir?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm really happy you joined us from the closet.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and joining us.
Yeah.
I
I
know
hear you
you're busy.
scratching around in there all the time.
All the time.
Thank you for opening the door for me. It is a little hot. in
Hey,
my-
a lot of our guests canceled today, so we needed a guy.
Yeah, we needed
need-
and I'm just the guy to sit here and say nothing.
And also with us, our second guest, musician and professional pop star, lead singer of the boy bands Evolution, Project 5, and now the lead singer of the bands DNA and MDG crew, our little neighborhood friend, Adam Farley. What's up, buddy?
Well, hello. What an intro. That was, yeah, I guess I am a pop star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a pop star when I'm with you guys. We are like a boy band.
I like to think
Yeah.
so.
Look at us.
And I'm excited to be here.
Look at us.
Like, look at you. Look at, we're amazing.
I'm like the Pete Best, technically. I
Yeah,
just, I
you
got,
are-
I got removed early on.
Yes.
Because
That's
you're
a
not
Beatles
good.
joke for all you stupid people at home.
This is amazing. Just looking around the room. People
Yeah.
can't visually see this,
But
we all have no, I won't go there. Okay.
Just say it. Just say it. We're Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, everybody's got a hat except me. I feel bad.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I can go home and get one.
You're also shirtless, which
I know.
is always. I don't
It's
know why
weird.
I brought that up.
Vince is shirtless, but he drew a shirt on his body.
Yeah.
It's
To be
very
fair,
weird.
I wrote it into my contract, so
Just don't put a bag over your head. You can get an infection like Jason Voorhees.
Right.
Callbacks.
Go back.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Adam, you have a new song that's dropping. When and where is that going to happen?
Well, I figured I would just throw it out in the street and see who wants to get it. No, I'm just kidding. June 7th is the release. It's actually a song I wrote for my son. So I wrote a song for my wife. I wrote a song for my daughter. But the only person I didn't write a song for was my son.
He's
So,
like
call you
really
out.
resentful about it.
Yeah.
he would say from time to time,
like,
like,
"Dad,
where's
where's
my
my
song?
song?"
Yeah, he would. So I've been working on this song for 4 years. I wrote it over the pandemic, and I had like 3 different versions of the song, and I finally was able to get it down to the version that I wanted to. Got together with Mr. Reynolds,
Yeah.
We finished it up, and we're dropping it on June 7th.
You wrote it during the pandemic?
Wrote it during the
Was
pandemic.
it kind of like sad in the beginning where it's like, man, I hope I survive to raise you?
100%, yeah. So you read my post when I drop, because I'll be dropping the pre-save this week. It's like there was so much uncertainty, and I didn't know like what would happen, would I ever get the song done. So yeah. So
That's awesome. And then Matt, how's Gravy Diggers going?
come on, Matt, tell us.
Come on.
Yeah.
I can't.
Give us the scoop about the Gravy Diggers.
I can't because I'm watching the sweat drip off of Vince's
Oh my god, it's so funny.
You look like a guy who's lying in court.
He looks like an actual producer of a TV show. That's just like, Ella, what could go wrong? What's going wrong?
I look like Nixon at the Watergate press conference. Okay.
This sounds okay.
I run hot, boys. I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
No, you run hot. That's,
I mean, listen, you are a disco instructor.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sure it says it. So yeah.
So, have you guys seen any new movies? Vince, anything?
I've
this
been
week?
watching.
Wait, this scene in Airplane. Remember the scene in Airplane?
Oh, you're
Just sweating. Yes. Yeah.
like trying to fly a plane. It's literally just someone pouring water.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's actually good. Yeah.
To be fair, the headphones are very hot. Anyway, I've been. I'm watching Planet of the Apes, all of them from beginning to end.
Yes.
Nothing
That's
from 2001 and on.
How about you, Adam? What did you see recently?
I actually just saw If, which stands for Imaginary Friend, for everybody that needs to know.
And
Directed
how
by
was
John Krasinski.
Was it good?
It was awesome. It was so well done and so well written. The kids loved it. There is like the opening is kind of sad. Definitely was like it hits you, and then it becomes fun. But I think it's a good lesson for, like, especially for us as like adults. Like I think sometimes we were talking about this early on, but we lose our inner child, and it kind of like draws you back in and to know like your inner child is still there. You just need somebody to kind of pull it out of you sometimes, which is cool.
My inner child has gone nowhere. Because before we were talking about how there's this big storm going on outside, my first thought was, man, I really, really hope that I shut my windows because I don't want my Gremlins poster to get wet.
That's a good reason to make sure.
It's an original poster.
Hey, that's important.
I have a question for Adam. If you don't mind spoiling the film, I
can't do this to you. No, I'm kidding.
I didn't see it yet, so I'm still spoiling.
Can you tell me, does Drop Dead Fred make an appearance at all?
Oh, that's I can't give it away. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
you.
sorry.
Damn it.
Damn it. Does Yahoo Serious show up at all? Or is he in there somewhere?
I can't, guys. I can't
thought
tell you.
he was a real actor, but then I was like, did I imagine him? Was he young Einstein?
Can't. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Ah, damn it.
Can't tell you.
And then, Matt, what did you see recently?
There's a film from Spain that I saw called The Coffee Table. Have you heard of it?
No.
If you have kids, do not watch it. It's very, very bleak. And have you seen it?
No.
Have you heard of it?
No, I just look
perked
it up
up
because
Just look it
I
up.
have kids. Those
Yeah,
are things
exactly.
I know I have kids.
Is this the movie that I read about
Vince
where...
doesn't listen on someone unless someone says, "Do you have kids?" He's like, "I have
Oh,
kids."
wait a minute.
He
Yeah.
was thinking about it. He's like, maybe I should watch it. I don't know.
I read something about this movie. Do the children get turned into coffee tables? Is that why we shouldn't watch it? No?
You're thinking
I'll go
of-
home, guys.
You're thinking of Argyle, where children were turned into Argyle sweaters. There's a difference.
Gotcha.
Good movie.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's definitely bleak. There was a hint of very, very pitch black humor, black humor. But
I love
yeah,
that.
it's kind of a film that's usually I'm really desensitized, as we all are in here. We watch people get hacked up all the time, split down the middle, you name it, blood and guts everywhere. But
And we like movies, too.
yeah, for sure. But there was something about this when after watching, I'm like, it stuck with some of the imagery, and it's like what they don't show too, and some of the sound design. I'm like, all right, they went a little too far. and I don't even have kids. I don't even like kids. I don't know. I like kids. I work with them. So,
No, I've seen you with kids. You don't like them. You're right.
Wow.
You're correct.
That I mean, for you to say that as a horror fan, it's like now I kind of want to check out the coffee table.
And is that like child labor laws if you work with kids at Gravy Diggers? Are you putting them to work back there?
just like Oompa Loompas.
Loompa, Loompa, Gravy Diggers. It's like, oh no.
It's really been causing a problem for business.
Actually recruited Adam. He goes around. He borrows a van. Hey kids, I got some
This is the van.
I'm like the black phone. I'm like, here, look at my balloon.
Yeah, yes, the balloons.
They're just Popeyes.
But the grabber.
you enjoy,
Black magic? Come here.
Come here.
but you enjoyed the film.
Yeah, for
It's
the most
worth a
part.
watch?
It's definitely worth a watch, but it's one I'm like, I don't think I'd ever want to watch again. I'm like, it was a little
Was it worth the flight to Spain?
I was just gonna ask.
Not at all.
Where did you watch it?
No.
Your face
I
was
watched
just
it home.
perfect for that.
iTunes, Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Like now I want to go check out a trailer. So like I know when I get home, the first thing I'm doing is like ignoring anything in my house and just going to look at
No,
the trailer for
seriously,
the
no,
coffee
We'll
table.
just stop the show right now and watch the trailer.
Seriously,
you
if
just
you have
Google-
kids,
We can do that.
I mean,
No, I
just
won't. I
warning.
won't play it in front of the kids, but
Yeah.
I definitely need to see it. Like
I mean,
now
as
I'm
a
like,
parent.
okay, now I want to see
They're
this
not going to
trailer.
want to watch that. They're like, Dad, what are you watching? Oh, it's this movie called The Coffee Table. They're like,
Oh, joy!
boring as shit.
That is so boring.
God, Dad.
Yeah, kids are like they don't even care. Like this is dumb. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Yeah, so that sounds pretty awesome. And yeah, so what did I watch recently? I saw I'm obsessed with this movie and I keep watching it, and I watched it a couple of years ago and I loved it. Did you guys ever see The Art of Self-Defense with Jesse Eisenberg?
Yes,
No.
I did see that.
It's so funny. The more I watch it, the more and like the funnier it gets. You have to watch it, and I guarantee, Adam, if we watched this when we were kids, we would be obsessed with
it?
this
I'll
movie.
watch it.
Yeah,
Because you said that, I'll
it's just
watch
like
it.
it's like dark humor, and it's just it's really dry. And
If it's anything like Club Dread, I'm in.
it's like
I'm just kidding.
no, it's not like Club Dread, but I do love Club Dread.
Yeah.
I
But,
love dark humor because it's like food. Not everybody gets it.
Yeah. That's right. Note for your listeners, Vince's family is still starving.
And,
But Vince eats well, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, chubby.
and
No,
now,
I just meant like you don't feed your family.
No, I
And
eat
all
them.
that food you just get for yourself.
me, just for me, yeah.
Oh, okay. But I also saw The Strangers, Chapter 1. Did you guys see this at all?
I did.
I have not.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I do want to see it.
Yeah. What did you think, Matt?
I thought it was pointless.
Pointless.
There you
that's
have
a
it,
perfect
folks.
review.
The truth.
Pointless. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Rory, do you remember how many times did you and I see the original film?
We saw it 5 times
In
in
the
the theater
theater.
together.
Yeah.
And I also have the original 35 millimeter
too.
trailer.
I still have it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
We
that
yeah,
original
we
movie
loved it
is
so much.
great. You know? So this one,
It's just like a WB
yeah.
version of it.
Speaking of WB or CW, what's her name? Madeline.
Madeline Page.
He
Yeah.
always has to say her last name because I hear it and it goes right out my ear. But that actress, she's great in it.
Yeah.
Like I think
Oh,
she's like
she's
such a good actress.
So is it? I guess my question is because I really liked the second Strangers film.
Yeah, I did too. It was alright.
Pray at Night?
Pray at
Yeah.
Night. It was
Correct.
alright.
Yeah. Like I
wanted
thought
to
it was.
pray for it to end.
So I
I
guess.
didn't like the second one very much.
Well, I guess it was.
I liked
It
it.
was good for how long of a gap it was, right? From
Right.
when they came out with a second one.
Just say you like the pool scene. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
love
the
it.
pool
Yeah,
scenes.
the
of
pool
course.
scenes.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
But I guess with this new one, right? Since Matt, you've seen it, and Rory, you've seen it. EJ, you've seen it too.
Yep.
So all 3 of you guys have seen it. Vince, you have not, right?
Correct for not asking me if I've seen it. Cause I
No,
haven't.
I want to make sure you're a part of this because I love you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. But no, I guess is it more like a reboot? I guess is it a remake, a reboot,
Rehash.
Because I know there's
yeah.
different terms for this these days, and it's like confusing.
Yeah, they do like a thing where I think it's supposed to be like they're starting off doing this, but it's a little confusing because they have modern technology in it, and so you're like, wait, I don't know. if
Compared
this
to
takes
when we
place
all seeing the
before.
original, it was definitely
Right.
different.
because I think they like reference like Alexa or Siri or something.
Do you remember in the original movie when she was talking to Alexa?
Liv Tyler's like, Alexa, play. Yeah. But it's a little strange in terms of some of that, and they have like Airbnb. That's where they're staying at, which didn't. Really...
Is there any? I guess my question is, because this is where I always get I get upset with these types of films where they kind of I feel like we run out of ideas, so we just gotta kind of go back and bring them back to the table because the Gen Zers haven't seen them yet and all that fun stuff. Is it connected to the original in any way?
No, I think it could exist on its own. You know what I mean? It doesn't be like, oh, here's hints for Liv Tyler, or you know what I mean, or Scott Speedman,
correct
stuff, or even the Prey at Night things.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be definitely before that, but I think it could kind of exist on its own. It's probably it's
one of those things that you kind of have to. Okay. You can kind of tie it back if you wanted to.
Yeah,
I feel like you're essentially saying it shouldn't have been made.
Correct. Yeah, I guess that's where I guess where it's going from. And the only reason I struggle with
you're
films.
Looking for every clue to be they shouldn't have done this.
No, I know, dude. And I struggle with this.
What it is, Adam.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Well, and the reason why
it as the next best thing. Next
that
to Ambien.
Yeah. I just struggle with films like this. And I know Halloween we're going to be talking about this, right? You think about 2018 and tying things back, and you skip a couple films, and you I just got done watching both I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching both films, and I'm these films aren't really that bad, minus Jennifer Love Hewitt screaming in every scene.
Right.
But they're coming out with a new I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And they're both in talks, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, cool.
Are they going to be deadbeat parents?
I don't know, but they're in talks to come back and reprise their roles, because if you remember at the end of I Still Know, he's in there brushing his teeth, and she then you see her get pulled underneath the bed or something. I don't remember to the exact moment, but to have them come back would indicate that it's not really a reboot, but more of a kind of revision, I guess, or a pickup. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Hey, Adam, I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't get excited for it.
I'm assuming it'll probably be better than the new Strangers film.
You're going to be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see.
I have a question, and I don't want to dwell on this movie. Please,
dwell
on what else you've seen.
No, Matt, dwell.
I have a question, and it's going to be a spoiler because I don't really care.
It's okay.
For both you, Rory and EJ.
Yeah.
At one point, they were able to escape through that window, right? But was it boarded up? And if it was boarded up, remember when they went in the room and they barricaded the door?
Yeah.
Was that boarded up? When did that happen? Because I'm just escape, go through the window, you idiot. Go through the window.
We're always thinking that in films.
No, right. But then I'm and then at one point they go and then they don't go out the window. I'm okay, it's boarded up, but who did that? Why is it boarded up? I don't understand. Why am I so angry at the fact that this window? Because the movie could have ended right there, and I could have gone home. And I was in the theater, and people were vaping, and I was trying to enjoy my popcorn. And these stupid idiots wouldn't go through the window. I wanted to go home. And I should have got up. I could have got up and left.
Why did you?
There's a couple of questions. That truck, why didn't you just hop in the truck and take the truck?
Jumped in the truck at one point.
The asthma, the whole asthma storyline, the inhaler and the importance of the inhaler the whole time, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's like that commercial. Did you ever see the commercial where they did the horror movie commercial for insurance? They're we should have grabbed the chainsaw or got in the car. It's it's so true though. When you watch films, you're what are you doing?
There's also a major. It's just just letting you know these people don't know what they're doing. We were talking about it before. The idea of the first movie, the line is why are you doing this to us? And it's because you were home. It's so scary. It's so scary because it's someone was just driving by. These maniacs were driving by and they saw your light on. That's why this is happening to you. So it kind of has a real world feel to it. And this one, they're because you're here. And you're well, no shit.
Yeah.
It's just so happen to be here.
Yeah, so derivative.
Yeah, and it's just... you know, I said that. People were like, well, how'd you like it? I'm like, well, it's exactly the same thing as the first movie without the subtlety or craft.
And they even reused the song on the record player.
Which I thought was going to go into a moment, because
Yeah.
that is such a great moment in the original one. It's so unsettling and creepy. And this one, I guess it's a nod? Well, she's like smoking
And this
pot.
time, it's the devil's lettuce. Oh, yeah.
I saw a bunch of movies. I'm going to blow through them. Because
Okay.
we don't need to talk about any of them.
All right.
So I revisited Peeping Tom.
Awesome.
You ever see it? One of my favorite horror films. They just did a Criterion. Yes, do your shot. 4K. And it's fantastic. I've been keeping up with Spider-Man Mondays, so I got to revisit Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then we just watched Spider-Man Homecoming,
Yes.
which was a lot better than how I remembered it. I actually really liked it a lot, Homecoming. I thought it was a lot of fun. What were you saying?
No, go ahead.
But most importantly, I did a little thing last night. The last couple movies I watched were all of a certain ilk, of a certain franchise.
Oh.
Yeah. What we're talking about today, guys.
It was in the chat. We loved it. Yes.
Yeah. I started chat.
We got the play-by-play.
Was
Yeah,
it the low-budget Titanic films? Titanic 1, Titanic 2, Titanic 3? Like the ones that weren't made by James Cameron?
You are
Tubi.
correct.
By some guy
Tubi's,
named Jim Smitherson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Titanic 666? That was on Tubi. Just came
My
out last
God.
year. Great.
I went ahead and just to get ready for today, in preparation for today's conversation, I went and watched a lot of Halloween movies.
Too many.
Some
might say too many.
So I watched the first Halloween. I watched the second Halloween, of course, the original ones. I watched 4, 5, and 6.
And we know you did because we all got the text messages.
Yeah.
I take a picture of my television, and it was really just a way for me to say to you guys, aren't you happy that you're not living
This is the
Living
new
this
box
life.
set, right?
Yeah.
Then you get a new.
Yeah, I bought all the 4Ks, and
Okay.
they look fantastic.
Of course you did.
So it was good transfer. Looked.
I've never actually. I wasn't aware of this, but I don't think I've ever actually seen a good transfer of Halloween 2.
Yeah,
Like-
I feel like that one's been always been a
it's been a
tough
little
one.
sideline
Yeah.
as far as like the quality goes. That is a beautiful looking movie. You know,
Yeah,
there's like these like lens flares and stuff that keep like popping up and a lot of the scenes, and I'm like, I never noticed any of this stuff before. It's very clean.
Yeah.
The colors pop. Dean Cundy is just like a fantastic cinematographer.
Ben
Yep.
Tramer.
Ben Tramer, really.
has
Ben Tramer.
my favorite
Justice
walk
for
in a movie
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
I love that Tramer dies and he's very confused. It's kind of like
Well, the way he walks and he's just like,
yeah.
like looking back, it's so good.
Yeah, I noticed something too. And again, from the 4K, his mask has like a metallic look.
It does. It does have a metallic look.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that because I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I watched that film.
I've never noticed that. I just thought he was wearing the same mask, but it was like the same mask, but just kind of.
EJ hit it
Right.
perfect. He's
I know, it's
He's like
Double
super
take.
walking
He's just like,
super fast.
Yeah.
It's happening so fast.
poor Ben Tramer.
Yeah.
Well, on that
he
said
has,
it, justice for Ben Tramer.
yeah.
Justice for Ben Tramer.
He might have had like one of the worst death scenes in the history.
And nobody
of
really
Halloween
like
movies.
takes accountability for it.
None.
They all
Everyone-
just kind of walk it off.
Right?
do,
They're just
yeah.
like, whatever.
Loomis is like,
We're used to this in our neighborhood.
sorry.
Kids get here all the time.
Driving like 90 miles an hour in a 25.
Not only does he get pancaked between a car and like a van, but it also explodes.
And you just see like the kid's face is like melting.
Just
I
unnecessary.
mean, it was a pretty bad fire. Like no one was putting him out.
I
Like,
love
it was-
I love how they're screaming at Loomis. You're like, is that him or is that him or not? And he's just kind of like, oh shit, this is definitely not him, but I don't want to say it. He's
Now,
got that look on his
if
face.
only in like the newer Halloween films, they were like justice for Ben Tramer.
Yeah,
they like
seriously.
marched for
Well,
him.
these new ones, he's alive because you remember when they're in
Oh.
the hospital room and he's like, "You had eyes for," and he looks at the camera, like he looks directly at
That's
the camera
right.
and smiles. He's like, "Ben Tramer, remember that name from the first Halloween?"
God.
Did they say that?
So he really
Actually,
did
so
die.
that's a funny thing. Well, revisiting these movies, it kind of made me realize how much I don't like the new ones.
Yeah.
don't know.
I could see
I'm,
that.
I'm like, I liked Halloween Ends. I'll
Yeah.
like die on that.
Was
I
It's
don't
the
care.
best of a bad situation.
Was
Yeah.
was that the one with where it was like completely mob mentality?
No,
No.
that was Halloween Kills.
Okay,
Kills,
I
yeah.
like that one. I
Did
don't.
ya?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
wait. I think I did.
Listen,
I don't remember.
I will say this. I have to put this on the record. Like, I love Anthony Michael Hall. I really do. But he was the worst. Like, he was so bad.
Just mugging the whole time.
It was like
Took
watching
care of
him.
me as a kid. Now I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah, it really was. Like, EJ and I were obsessed with the Dead Zone when we were kids growing up, right? And when they made the show for USA Network, it was like watching like him and Walt all over again, and they're acting on the Dead Zone in a USA Network program.
Yeah.
For him to be like Tommy Doyle. It was terrible.
They just rehashed it for that for
it was,
TV purposes.
I struggled with it so much.
Which Tommy Doyle? Okay, in your opinion, everyone here, Tommy Doyle, Paul Rudd, or Tommy Doyle, Anthony Michael?
I mean,
Hall?
Paul. This is.
I'm sorry, Brian Andrews, for EJ being a dick and forgetting about that.
I mean, he's a little kid.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the best. He's
Paul
the best
Rudd all
Tommy
day.
Doyle that's ever
Okay,
existed.
all right.
Yeah.
That's fair. I should have added.
yeah,
him,
you should add him.
but
should
I
have.
just went with those two.
Paul Rudd all day,
Paul
every
Rudd
day.
is like,
Paul Rudd.
I'm going Paul Rudd.
yeah.
I have some funny things to say about Paul Rudd.
Why is
Well,
he in this movie?
Let's talk about. What's the movie
yeah.
we're doing today, EJ?
Well, motherfuckers, we are doing Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Also known as Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers.
And there's a producer's cut of this movie. The only Halloween movie that has an alternate movie.
Yes.
Right?
Producer's cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a reason this isn't numbered?
I can tell you exactly why.
Thank you.
I can tell you exactly why. Because
I knew you would
when
know.
you start getting into the point where it's like part 4, part 5, the audience starts getting into their head. I don't want to watch.
Yeah, it's
all
too
this
much.
Crap. There's like too many movies, so they manipulate the audience and they make them think that this is like much earlier on. You know, there's not much homework to do. Just
Right.
show up. Just be confused.
Well, the producer's cut, the original version of this had the thorn as the 6.
It did. It was called Halloween 666: The Origin of Michael
Correct.
Myers.
So
I saw
the,
that trailer.
the 6
on
was a
TV.
part of it at one time.
Yeah.
That is a
Right.
way cooler name for a movie.
Halloween 666.
Yes.
But Michael Myers
but
is never
if
like
you think about it-
synonymous with the devil. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I
I
agree.
guess he had the devil's
Marketing, they're like, oh man, there's 665 more movies of this.
I can't watch all those.
I don't
too
think
many.
I'll catch up in time.
It's too many.
That's
Yeah.
too many
I
to
can't
rent.
binge that. No.
Yeah.
They've
No.
almost made that many now.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're getting there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will one day. There's going to.
They're
be...
getting better as they get older, right? Like the more they do, the better they get, right? Is that how that works?
Sure.
Okay. Can't wait for it.
Can't wait.
Can't
We'll
wait.
talk about it, but I don't know where you go. I don't know where you go from
Yeah.
here. I feel like
Just stop.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, we'll talk about that.
The plan is they're gonna go to television.
Yes, that's what the word on the street. I think
So-
for Friday the 13th as well, too, right?
Right.
Are they
Yeah.
going to do a TV series?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're... Oh.
Yeah. More Michael Myers on your TV.
Ahsoka is spinning in her grave.
I just can't wait to just see hour-long episodes where Michael shows up for 5 minutes.
Everyone's just sitting around talking about him.
Filler episodes of just random
Yeah,
things.
them just like characters trapped in the closet for like the whole hour, and they're discussing all the problems besides the serial killer.
And they're
outside.
just looking... They're slowly looking throughout the house for things to... Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So
going to be
it's
really
be
excited when
so
they start
fun.
explaining things that you wanted to know the answer to. Like, did you ever want to know where Michael went to elementary school?
Right.
And you know what's
It's gonna
funny
be an
is that's
episode about
exactly what you're probably going to get.
I feel like it's going to be like what Smallville was to Superman.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Smallville I love.
I like Smallville.
But I feel like Halloween can just end.
Just stop.
Take the title literally. Halloween ends. Let's just stop. You know, it's beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah.
Who is that Michael Myers? He's over here in the corner playing with micro machines by himself. What a weirdo.
yeah, that's definitely a scene from the for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I
You're
could see
nothing
that.
but a clown,
Yeah.
Michael. A
Yep.
clown.
It's so true. Yeah, like, dude, I can totally see that. It's totally like, yeah. I mean, Matt hit it right. Like, that's it. Like,
Oh, you know what else is going to happen? You're going to get a cool.
you're a loser, Michael.
Yeah.
It's 5 episodes deep on why kids don't like it.
There's gonna also be a shot of like a silhouette, like of a shadow, and it's gonna be like looking like Michael Myers, you know?
It's just like
And I could see that scene
100%.
too. You
Yeah.
like they did with like Anakin Skywalker. It's like they have
That's what I
a
was thinking.
shadow
Like
behind
Phantom
him.
Menace,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like Michael. He's like he's gonna transform into him.
That's
He's transforming.
Or like you'll meet Dr. Loomis early on. He'll have a line like, "I have a feeling someday you'll be the death of me."
he's actually the school psychologist.
He like bumps into
I'm your guidance counselor,
he
Dr.
bumps
Loomis.
into him. Yeah, he like bumps into him. He knocks his books out of his hands. He's like, "I'm sorry, son." He's like, "Look what you did to me." He's like, "I have a feeling someday I'm going to have to talk to you further." Cut to commercial.
Yeah, I love the idea
Something
that
about his eyes.
Yeah. He's staring at the room, back
what
and
it
forth.
and they're definitely gonna do this thing where Michael's carrying a bunch of books down the hallway and he runs into like Dr.
Exactly.
Loomis.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
exactly what
Also,
I could see.
also
It.
there's gonna be something like, "Michael, did you pull her Barbie's head off?"
Yeah, like some crazy thing he was doing, and everyone like, or he collects rats and he just like
Yeah.
keeps them in a shoebox. You know,
Yeah,
Actually, I'm
Michael, we
into the
found
show.
5 dead rats in your shoebox.
I can't wait to watch this.
Yes,
I know. I'm actually really excited for the show now.
I know.
They
Maybe
did
we
that in
should-
Halloween Resurrection. Remember, he was like living under like and they had like all this stuff in like shoeboxes and stuff.
Remember how awesome
He's been
that
living
was?
under the house the whole time.
Yeah,
Why not live in the house?
maybe they'll address why he eats
Under it.
dogs.
Under it. It's easier.
Yeah, he's got like an uncle. He's like, "Here, try dog. You'll never turn back."
He actually. He was a dog jerky. Originally, he was a dog walker. It's like-
So you know what that means now? I am gonna make us a graphic of Michael Myers walking dogs for neighbors.
yes, we have to see this.
I thought you were going to say you were going to make us dog jerky. I was worried about that.
Maybe Michael Myers makes dog jerky in Haddonfield.
Yeah.
He has a
just-
dog
There's an
jerky
episode.
factory. Yeah.
Did you ever consider putting dog jerky into your gravy
Oh
tickets?
my god.
Hey, you know, wait, one other thing. His dad is like a car guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna need you to help me with the engine, but I need you to put these coveralls on."
Oh.
Dad, I feel really comfortable in these.
Yeah.
I'm never taking them off.
Yeah, there's always there's always a backstory. You know?
Dad, are you working at the garage again?
Look at you, son. You look natural in those.
It's like the mask in Rob Zombie's Halloween, right? He like buried it and then he came back for it. He's like, "Ooh, let me shake the dust off this baby, put this on. I remember this one. It's under this floorboard."
Michael, I'm gonna teach you how to drive. I know you're 6 years old, but sit on my lap. I'll show you how to steer this thing, so
then-
no one questions your
Yeah.
driving later on.
And then there's gonna be some like stupid like news article, like one of those internet things where it's like, "The new Halloween series has finally addressed the biggest plot hole
Yes.
in the original movie."
That always ends up happening. There's always like,
Yeah.
finally. I mean,
Finally.
every show does that, and I can't see it being any different in
It
Halloween.
addresses the plot hole from 1978, justifying its existence.
Michael learned how to drive from his father.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Which so happens to be the guy who was drinking the beer outside the truck in a thunderstorm.
Oh,
What are you
there's
doing about my truck?
one of my favorite Haddonfield citizens of all time.
Michael's dad, he's just
So-
pissed off that he can't teach his kid how to drive anymore.
Right.
It's raining.
So on Halloween 6, fun fact, Adam and I went to see this in theaters together.
We
We
did.
actually had to buy tickets for The Big Green, starring Patrick Renna, Ham from The Sandlot,
Okay.
Steve Gutenberg, and
Steve Gutenberg was in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I
And
think I forgot
Squint.
that.
Hey,
I
you
just
would have
looked
known
this
if you saw it.
I just remember the standee, like him being like this by the socket.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just like overwhelmed
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
like all the soccer
Everybody
balls
remembers
about
that.
to
It's a
come.
classic standee.
Everyone remembers that poster. No one saw the movie.
No, nobody saw it, yeah.
Did any of you guys see it?
Oh, no.
I did see Ladybugs with Jonathan Brandis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a great film, by the way.
Rodney
Dangerfield,
Dangerfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great film.
And Jackie. She was great.
Hey, cool. What were you saying?
Yeah, so we snuck into The Big Green I mean, we bought tickets for the Big Green to sneak into Halloween 6, and I remember us coming out of it, and we were like obsessed.
Obsessed with the film.
Oh, that guy from
Absolutely.
Clueless was like so good.
Why
man.
didn't you guys just buy tickets for that movie?
Well, we
Oh,
couldn't.
we
We
were
couldn't. Too young.
underage.
And they were
There
like,
was a point where they actually gave a shit about
I was gonna say,
I was
was
just gonna say, Rory, they act like super hardcore. Like
Yeah.
they would not. Like they actually have people who care about their shopping.
Like literally these days, there's like babies sitting inside like
Yeah.
Saw movies.
There's like a
No
5-year-old.
parents, just
walking by, I'm
babies.
just gonna go into this R-rated movie. They're like, sure, go ahead. no problem."
Yeah, and we saw it at the Viewmont Mall used to have a movie theater
I
attached
remember.
to it, and
Yeah.
that's where we had
BAM.
to sneak in.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, where BAM is now. And so we had a, it was like Theater 5.
Yeah, like you ran in first, and then you would
Yeah.
be like, come on.
Yeah, it was like it was like an ops mission.
And then we also did we opened up the door to let
Oh.
other people who went around the building into the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were project kids. We didn't
This
know
is-
any better.
This is
good.
what we did.
Scumbags.
We saved people $5 or $6.
And Matt,
Now they can
also,
retire.
Fun fact about Matt, Renaldi, and I. First time we met, I think we actually the first movie we ever talked about, and there's been many since, was Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, and then we would just talk endlessly about The Simpsons. But I remember one of the big things we talked about at this time. I believe you weren't aware that there was a producer's cut to this movie, and I was one of those weirdos that scoured eBay back in the day trying to get this, and I was always outbid by some person.
Those were tough to get.
They were very hard to get, and I got a copy of it, and I wanted everyone in the world to see it. And they were like, I don't want to watch your stupid movie. And I'm like, come on, Grandma, watch this. And then she passed away while watching it.
Oh, I knew it existed.
terrible.
I was just trying to impress you. I wanted you to like me and to feel like you were the bigger man. Hey, I know something. That he
I
doesn't.
have this thing.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that because I'm like very insecure, and I needed you to give that to me.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
But
about
anyway,
him,
It
too.
was
I
a big
remember-
win for Rory.
I
That was
made
a
a
very
cop-
beautiful moment.
It
Yeah.
was. I made a copy of it for you, and we
Yeah.
talked about it, and we haven't looked back.
I still
since.
have both of those copies.
Yeah?
The burned copy on the CDR. No, DVD-DR.
Yeah.
See it.
Oh, that's right. It was
And,
like, yeah.
and a VHS.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, buddy.
Want to share your memory of Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers? Moving on.
Poor
Yeah.
Vince. Vince, it's
Vince.
okay.
I love Vince. He looks like he's just like a
I'm just-
disgruntled principal. He's like by himself. we're all over. He's by himself, like against the wall.
I'm just
basically.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, were you happy to watch this movie?
No,
Yeah, I got your message.
I don't have it because I don't have my phone. I would love
Right.
to read it. Yeah,
But,
we're working on it. Yeah.
We'll get that.
Yeah, your references were like, wow. Vince did not like this movie.
So I'm actually I can't wait to hear about the
Here you go.
feedback
Hey,
on this.
Vince,
Yeah.
read what you sent us in our group chat.
In 2004, the Sri Lanka tsunami train wreck was the deadliest recorded train disaster in history, claiming the lives of at least 1,700 people. The incident was a result of a devastating tsunami caused by the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which caused severe destruction to railway infrastructure. Preceding this tragedy, in 1995, although not as many lives were claimed, the world's largest train wreck, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, was released. Decades later, ramifications are still being felt. Paul Rudd, while selling his soul to the devil for fame, had to read the script written by someone with the intellect of a sack of wet mice.
Wow.
So it's
I loved
interesting.
it.
It's interesting.
So
to
that
say
was you really felt that way. I mean, when I was reading that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, this is just Vince being Vince. But man, I could see it in your
Yeah.
face now.
yeah.
1 sec about the person who wrote it.
Yes.
His name is Daniel Ferens.
Okay.
So here's the thing: when you watch the first movie,
You're about to get schooled, brother.
no, it's
can't
not
wait.
being school, but it's
okay.
it's just interesting to talk about this because I know this movie doesn't have the best reputation. I can talk today.
No, you're good.
You're great.
Reputation. So not a high mark for a lot of Halloween fans, but so like the first movie when it came out, like everything good you've ever heard about it is true.
Yeah.
It's just like a perfect movie. It's a classic, and I was watching it last night, and I'm like, man, it just holds. It's great. So when they made the second one, what's up?
I also want to point out, you could have made me watch that one.
Well, we'll get there someday. So, like, the first one did so well that all those scummy producers were rubbing their hands together, and they're like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So, but they're like, well, okay, so what are we going to do? We want to bring Jamie Lee Curtis back. How do we get her back? And they're like, well, we're going to have to give her a reason to be in the movie. What's the reason? Well, we just saw The Empire Strikes Back. There was a father-son thing. Let's make it a brother-sister thing. He needs to kill his sister. So they're like, whatever, film it.
Okay.
They did the third movie, and they were like, well, people are going to want to see a Halloween movie without Michael Myers. Nope, no one liked it. Which I loved it. Anyway, Halloween 4 comes out, and it's a back-to-basics movie, and it's awesome. Right? It's just like a movie that really, really works. I think personally, second best in the franchise.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Very atmospheric, and it treats Michael Myers the way that you should, which is that he's less of like a man and more of like a part of the night. You know, like sometimes you'll just kind of see him in the background, but they won't draw attention to it. Like you'll just kind of like see him. Oh fuck, there he is. You know. So 4 is a big home run, and it leaves off. And I don't want to ruin this because I would like to watch it at some point. But there's a cliffhanger, and it's a big old cliffhanger. It's just shocking, and it's awesome. The problems come in with part 5. And I can say this with authority because I was fucking watching all these movies last night. So 5 is this thing where they're like, hey, the cliffhanger for 4 went over really well. We need something for this one, sequel bait. So what are we going to do? Michael Myers has a thorn tattooed on his wrist. Why? We don't know.
Yeah.
There's a man in black. Why? Well, Michael Myers... Oh, wait. I don't care. That's someone else's problem. Literally a quote. It'll be the problem for the next film, which is great. Just stick shit in your movie. You know, I have rose-colored glasses when it comes to 5. I like 5 for the most part, but it's one of those things where I watch it and I'm like, here's where the problem started. Mm-hmm. Daniel Farrens, getting back to my original point, is the guy who essentially had to clean up the house after the residents trashed it.
Okay.
Basically, he was like a super fan, and they're like, we want to make a 6th film. Do something with this shit. And so he was like, all right, let me try this. And the entirety of the production of that movie, they were like, well, this guy wants it to be like this, and this guy wants it to be like this. Our buddy Harvey Weinstein came on back and decided to molest yet another movie. And it was notoriously a miserable production for everybody. So this kid is constantly, and he's a kid at this point, having to constantly write and rewrite this movie. And with what it was initially, apparently was supposed to be like a great script that Donald Pleasance loved, what it turned into, what he managed with it, it came out pretty good with what he actually had at his disposal. So that kid, Daniel Farrens, literally just made a movie out of a mess. Right. And I think he did a pretty good job.
So, like,
that was the point of me watching all those movies last night. I justified wasting my time.
Which I did read that, and I think I sent you the article. I don't know if I sent it to Rory, but where they want to create another film, just like they did with like picking up stories from like the first one, leaving out the second, where they want to kind of do a continuation off of like building off of 6.
So what I've heard. What I think they should start doing now. And I'm a big fan of them doing this with 6. Own up to your mistakes.
Yes.
Stop doing the bullshit where it's like, all right, so we made a first one and it was like huge and it's perfect, it's a classic. So now we're gonna make a second, third one. Ooh, people didn't like the third one, so let's just reboot it. Let's remake it. Yeah. Go back, and they basically just keep rehashing the same old crap over and over again. Own up to your mistakes, Hollywood.
So did they know coming into this movie that this was going to be a train wreck, and he rewrote it to make it better, or how did...
Word is that this script was pretty terrific initially, and then it just got passed around. And well, again, you got a very clunky version of what it was supposed to be. I've never read the script. I can't confirm it. I think I've read something a long time ago. There was a helicopter involved, and I always think that that's a bad thing to have in a Halloween movie. Don't have helicopters in them. I don't know.
Really? That's interesting.
Wait a second. Rob Zombie went to town on helicopters in Halloween 2.
And what's your favorite Halloween movie, EJ? Halloween 2?
Nope.
Anyway, the point is, no, I think he did a pretty good job with what he had in front of him.
In the fact that there's just... You know, you have a producer's cut, and then you have the theatrical cut. Now, my feelings on that, we'll talk about this, is like theatrical cut all day, including the score. Like the theatrical cut score versus
the score.
producer's cut. Like,
I was gonna say, was that the metal guitar?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I like
When he's
that.
Like
walking,
so much better.
Yeah.
What you get in Vince, you'll probably, like, if you watch 4 and you watch 5, the producer's cut score in 6 was to mirror what 4 and 5 kind of brought to the table, to kind of mirror the storylines of, like, what you got at each end of those films.
I envisioned some producer having Slash from Guns N' Roses in a studio and just feeding him mushrooms and Jack Daniels and just saying, just do.
It's a complete product of its time.
I see that.
Yeah. This is a very
It's a very dark film.
This is the grunge Halloween movie,
It's
as
very
my buddy Mike put it.
1995.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
That's a great way to put it. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's very much like, this is what we think people want. The original score, you're right, it was more akin to the original.
Yeah.
But this one, they were like, well, let's make it good for the youth of 1995. And it's awesome.
I likened it to, a lot of the score was, have you ever heard the song by Alice in Chains, You've Come to Meet the Rooster?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, that Brother
Rooster.
Kane song. And
But like, I feel like every song was trying to be that song, and I was like, okay, I can take that. That's okay. I like it.
Feel it.
But it was very it was very Alice in Chains ish. I would
Brother
say.
Kane, awesome.
So many songs.
Rory and I used to cover songs from horror movies. Remember, we used to, in Mike's basement, we covered that
Mike's
song.
band, which was called Freddy Krueger's Melted Dick.
I loved it.
It's a great band.
Great name. Great name.
It's like you guys wear 3D glasses when you're performing.
He's like, do you want to
Put your
sing in my band?
glasses
I'm like,
on
what's
now.
it going to be called? He's like, Freddy Krueger's Melted Dick. I'm like, sign me up.
up.
But yeah, you
Wait,
remember
he
you
had
came
that
in for
name
drums?
ready?
Yeah, it was on the ready. You came into the drums. I was singing. It was fun.
Was there a music video where the little arrow came out and said, "Put your 3D glasses on now"? This is the part of the music video where you need those.
Where his dick gets melted.
We also did Dream Warriors, didn't we?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. I love that song too.
I had a lot of good memories, Matt.
Yeah.
We go way back.
But you did this one?
We did.
Brother
yeah,
Kane?
Brother
Yeah.
Kane.
Oh, that's
Every time I hear it, it reminds me of Halloween 6.
yeah.
It's a good song.
It really is.
But anyway, go on.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the breakdown of this movie. So the film starts with a group.
Holy shit, we haven't even started the movie.
No, we haven't even started yet.
We have not, Vince.
I work in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Those pot pies aren't going to
Yeah.
make themselves.
So the film starts with a grown-up Jamie Lloyd giving birth and begging to see her son, but the cult takes him away to hear Paul Rudd's voiceover.
Hey, did you guys
When
appreciate
Michael
the
Myers
effort?
was 6 years old. Like that whole, I love that.
I love
by
that
the way.
too.
Did you guys appreciate the effort that went into finding an actress that looked like Jamie?
Yeah, she does not look like Jamie.
Well, the casting
At
was
all.
literally, you'll do.
And the reason why, I mean, I'm sure you know this, is I read that they didn't think Danielle Harris was old enough to play that role.
No,
Of
that's not what it was. They just didn't want to pay her what she asked.
Really? So I read before. I don't know if it was Bloody Disgusting or Fangoria, but they felt like she wasn't old enough to reprise that role as a pregnant.
Yeah.
No,
Jamie.
Jamie Lee or Danielle Harris. She was all about coming back. They wanted her back. She said, "I would like." It was like some measly like $6,000 for the small amount of time that she was going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Nope." And you're like, "Oh."
Wow.
So right out of the gate, you're pissing off your fan base with this one. So
Yeah.
because people like, and she's when we get to 4 someday, Vince, she's a great kid actor, and that 4th one, like she's so good in that, you know.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so later on, a nurse brings Jamie her baby, and they all try to escape together, except the nurse, being a little overdramatic, runs off on her own and is killed by Michael Myers. She's like, "Ah!" And like,
Which is a great death scene, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a great death
Great
scene.
introduction to Michael too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like her performance. She's like, "Save your baby,
Yeah.
go now."
She's like running.
Yeah. She's so dramatic.
She's like jaunting down the.
Yeah, she's like,
down the
It's like
hall.
Sunday at the mall.
Yeah.
Get your cardio in.
Sunday morning at 6:30.
she's like power
Only
walking.
Cinnabon is open.
Imagine if she was power walking. She's like,
And just completely blew by him.
Power walking the Brother Kane.
Can you feel it? So Jamie, Jamie steals a guy's truck, which is one of our favorite characters of the movie.
That guy.
He's just like, hey, what are you doing about my truck? Yeah.
Doesn't care about it. And number one, like, I guess I always just wondered, why the hell is this dude just like in a raincoat, like drinking a beer out, like in a thunderstorm
next to like a mental hospital?
Yeah, he's just like out there drinking a beer. Like, and I said to EJ, I think I texted him like, or no, in the group, like typical Scranton guy, just like a guy in Scranton would be, oh, what's up? I got a BMW. Like, I got my truck.
It was nice of him to pull over to have the beer, though.
It was.
That's true.
Most Scranton just do it right in the car. Yeah, this guy.
All the places in Haddonfield. You know, Smith's Grove's a mental institution. I haven't been out there in a bit.
They'll have a brewski.
I just want to take in the scenery.
So peaceful. So peaceful.
So peaceful.
Hey, one other thing, though, about him, I was noticing this last night with 4, 5, and 6. I loved the way they would cast these people.
Yeah.
Because they just look, they had like great
you said,
faces.
like the priest, right? Or the guy who picks up Dr. Loomis and what was that?
Oh,
5?
the Reverend.
Yeah, there's
the
so
Reverend.
much character in their faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now everybody kind of looks like a
Hollywood.
CW actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I loved how all the people in
CW
4,
actor.
especially 4 in that bar,
Yeah.
they all just look like guys you would see in real life.
In real
And
life,
Bucky,
yeah.
too. Bucky was like the Powerline guy. He was like... He's
the best.
Yeah, he just looks like a Powerline guy. I don't know.
Do you know that guy actually there's like a website, I don't know if it's still active. Literally, it was like a Justice for Bucky website. There's like a whole fan base of people who were just like devoted to this guy.
Like, I love
and guess
this
what?
guy.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
Now I gotta find that on the old
Yeah.
one. I'm gonna find it.
So Jamie steals this guy's truck, and I love that the truckers like he kind of looks like Tommy Lee Wallace a little bit.
He does.
Like old school Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah, I guess
he has
it's
like
not-
the like longer hair.
He does.
Like
It's
the
like a
mustache.
curly, right? It's like
it's
curly hair.
curly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he was drinking. He's like, no one asked me to direct this one.
Yeah.
But this is the first one.
I've been doing all the behind
He's like
the scenes
stumbling
stuff.
in like the rain. He's like, "What are you doing about my truck?"
What are you doing about my truck?
I made the fucking mask.
I made the mask. I did the closet scene.
I mean, if Michael Myers wasn't chasing behind you, I might stop and be like, "What the hell are you doing out here? Why are you drinking a beer in the rain right now, or whatever you're
So
doing?"
there's
Sir,
anywhere
are you
else you
okay?
could be.
Like, are you
Anywhere
okay?
else would
Yeah.
be better than
Did
where
you
are
just
right now.
escape from here? Like, what are you doing?
What's he? He's just hanging out, watching the thunderstorm.
He's got a 6-pack in the back, just drinking in the rain.
I don't understand. I mean,
What's
I
his
get it.
story?
I'm relaxing. Come on.
If we ever meet the writer, I want to be like, what was the what
What was up with the trucker?
was this just like a childhood memory of like somebody drinking like outside of a truck in a thunderstorm?
Based on my dad.
Yes.
Could be.
I hope he's
Save it for the TV series.
Yeah.
I want to know the backstory.
That guy's gonna get his own episode.
It's a whole episode dedicated to the guy outside the truck with a beer.
It'll be like the Fly episode
Yes.
from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's just completely derailed so you just get to the backstory on just
I
that.
want a filler episode just on that guy.
You get it, and you're just like, well, I guess that's his story.
I guess
Thanks.
I could see us all texting the next day. I knew it. I knew that was the
You
reason.
were right.
He went through a divorce. I knew it.
Hey, you know what? Here's his backstory. How he got that beer. Some kids ran up to him. They're like, "Hey, mister, will you buy us beer?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then he bought himself beer with their money and
He
just
took
took
it,
off.
just ran.
Yeah. And then he's just like, good guys like me. Good things always happen to them.
Good things happen to guys like
And he,
me.
and he paid for that beer with like loose coins.
And he just dropped it on the counter.
Yeah.
The guy
I could
was so
see when
pissed
they were
off.
writing that script, it was like a Stealing Harvard moment. Like with Tom Green, he's like, "I want to be Steve.
I want to be Steve.
I want to be Steve."
I want to be Steve. So, anyways, he dies, and Jamie and then we cut over to 45 Lampkin Lane, where little Danny is having a
real quick
nightmare.
thing. Did anybody else notice this? So, like, on most houses, there's, like, a number, right? It's like
Right.
the house number.
Right.
Not the fucking street.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, they're like, we better like.
We
hit
really
home
want to
with
make
this.
sure.
We want the fan base
Right.
to pick up on this. Like we know this movie's in good hands.
This house doesn't look like anything like the
That you've
original
ever-
Michael Myers house, so we better make sure they know this is it. 45 Lampkin Lane.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie about like 1,000,000 times, and I never noticed that before. But it's the last time I'm watching it, I'm like, ha.
There's always those little things.
Yeah.
That when you go back, you're like, I never picked up on that.
Yeah, I love the set designer. He shows up. He has like the 45, and the director's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! We need Lampkin Lane, buddy. Get back to the drawing board."
Isn't this gonna look weird?
Nope. I'm calling the shots. Well, I don't know why he talks like that, but so we see little Danny. He has a nightmare of a guy who's like, "Kill for him," and so Danny he screams, and his mom
heard the
comes
voice.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he heard the voice.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I heard the voice man is here." Not Paul Rudd. It's a different.
Yeah, I got
voice
it.
man.
Yeah.
So she's like, no one's there, and she like looks around, and she knocks over one of his drawings, and then she picks it up, and the
Essentially-
next.
Throws it in the trash.
Throws it out. She folds that shit up. It was like, I didn't like this one anyway.
Yeah, this is not a fan.
What's up, Matt?
I hear voices too, and that is how I started Gravy Diggers.
That was your inspiration?
They
Yes.
told you. The
They
voice
told me
told you.
to not. Yeah.
Give them the pot pies, Matt. Give them the pot pies.
Cook for them.
That's a good one. Cook for them.
Cook for them.
What is it, Danny? I don't know. Someone told me to cook for them. I'm not sure what I'm cooking.
I don't know what I'm doing. I never made a pot pie in my life.
For the record, the pot pies from Gravy Diggers far more lethal than Michael Myers.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So soon after she's listening to Barry Sims' Back Talk. It's a popular
Sorry.
show in Haddonfield. And he's discussing like the legend of Michael Myers. And I love
Back Talk, the exposition hour.
yeah. And I love the lady who's like, I just want to know the man behind the mask. Like
Yeah.
she's like obsessed with Michael and wants
But
to hook up with Michael.
but women are always like that. Like
Yeah.
even like with serial killers, like, oh, I love Ted Bundy. He was like the man.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a good. It's definitely like funny to hear that because like when I hear, I'm like, that's perfect because
that's
everyone's
true.
always
Yeah.
obsessed.
There
with,
probably
like,
is a woman somewhere in Haddonfield or just somewhere in a different state
100%.
who's just like, I want to know what's going on under
I
that
want to
mask.
get under Michael's mask so bad.
I want to put that thorn on me.
I want to
Damn.
float down a river like in part 5 with you. Just a random floating river.
What would that date look like? Do you think?
Michael Myers on a date.
I just want to see what's under the mask.
That's another image we need to create. Michael Myers on
he
a
shakes
date.
his head.
It's just like a
Candlelit dinner.
French restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I work with like a hair salon. And he's just like, he tilts his head.
That's a perfect job.
He definitely needed a trim in part 5. So
Yeah.
I will say. He had some
Yeah.
really long hair growing
Well, even
out.
in this, there like when he's walking down the one stairwell, his hair is just like insane. It looks really bushy and weird.
A lot of
Not
like a
everybody
mullet.
can have a
It's
cut
like a
like
mullet.
Ben Tramer.
Bushy.
He has a very bushy beard.
The whole mask is based off of William Shatner, right?
Yeah, well, the original one was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, does he get credit every How does that work for everything
I would
moving forward?
say no. I think, if anything, Don Post would probably get a check.
Yeah, Don Post
Yeah.
is like the
Person who made the
who
mask.
made the William Shatner mask.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Tommy Lee Wallace redesigned it, made the
Did-
eyes like
Did
bigger.
they ever go into why they chose William Shatner?
Because they shot it in March, they had two options: a clown mask and a William Shatner mask.
That is fucking fantastic.
and it's
It's
just-
that simple.
Yeah, and it's
That's-
crazy
they
because you
just
look at it and
painted
you're
it
like,
white.
how was that not planned?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was noticing that again when I was watching the original last night.
Why?
The coveralls, because I overthink everything.
Yeah.
The coveralls and that mask is it's like a stroke of genius.
It's iconic. It's
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
sense the Frankenstein outline is recognizable anywhere. So yeah, I get
Yep.
that.
Yeah, and Tommy Lee Wallace had that, I don't know, like foresight, like, or maybe it was a happy accident. I don't know. Like he just was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit bigger, take off like the sideburns,
Paint it white.
paint it white, And then
He ripped
they
out
did,
all the hair and restyled it.
like he would like restyle the hair
Like
to
just
like go
cut
back.
it with scissors. Yeah.
Yeah, and and then they did like the test, like, oh, let's see what the clown costume looks like. Let's see what Michael looks like well, the shape, right? So he walks out, like the actor with that mask on, and I'm like, that's it. That looks creepy as hell.
And it's
It
so
is
effective.
creepy as hell.
It's
Yeah.
effective because since it's just like a blank expression, it's like you can project any fear
Anything
you want onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Is
That's
that
cool.
amazing? Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the backstory. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
I learned
And
something
they
today.
did an amazing job with the mask in part 6.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good.
Especially the scene where he's coming down the steps, where
Yeah.
he's like looking, and we'll get to that, where he's looking for
Yeah.
when the thunder and lightning's like behind him and he's coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's like the screen, like title screen for part 6 that you sent us. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm on part 6, and it was that picture
Yeah.
of him walking down the stairs.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I love how they modeled it after Ernest Borgnine, the mask.
For all you kids out there.
For all you kids out there.
I know you're a big fan of that mask. We've talked about that before. Yeah, Matt and I actually have conversations about our favorite Michael Myers masks.
I love
great.
part 2. Like I know part 2
Same
is
one from
actually
the
first
first
part
mask, yeah.
1.
Do they not use
it
the
just-
same mask throughout?
No.
No.
Jesus
No,
Christ,
they
you guys.
like it's definitely changes up a lot.
You could use the word disastrous when describing
Yeah.
the situation with that mask.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but it just changes movie to movie. I get it in like 4 why it looks different, because it's literally like he grabs it randomly in like a store. But in the 5th one, it's a year later.
Well, you
and
also
it's a
think
completely
about
different
the-
shape and everything. What?
Yeah.
The ending of part 2 as well. I mean,
It's all burnt up.
It's all burnt up. So like,
Yeah.
he needs to go and it is a great, to your point, in part 4, grabbing a different mask from the store
Yeah.
is perfect for.
It excuses the whole thing.
Correct. It definitely does. It takes you away from, because you're, oh yeah, well, he's got to find a new mask.
Matt disagrees.
Yeah.
The first one, he grabbed it from the hardware store, so it's the same concept, right? So you gotta listen. I'm not gonna sit there and defend that mask. It's terrible.
In part 4.
Yeah, I hate it. It's
You want to know a
cheap.
fun fact? From the people that I've had watch Halloween 4 over the years, they always say that the mask at the beginning of 4, like when he like sits up and looks at her, they always say that like he's spooky or he's creepy or that like
Spoopy.
it wigs them out. I don't know if it's like the hardcore people who like grow up with these movies might
Yeah.
have more issues with it, but like everyone that I've shown it to, they're always like, oh, like Becca, she's
Yeah.
like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Creepy?
Yeah, I don't mind 4.
It looks like it was found in Dollar General. Like it's just
It definitely does look like
Yeah.
a Dollar
No.
General mask for sure.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Party
But
City.
I think the only thing that you can is that you could defend there is that the original, like, look at the gap in between part 2 to part 4. What was
Right.
how many years later was it when
10.
they opened at 10, right?
like
So,
that timeline wise. 10
timeline
years.
where he's like they're showing that I think it's like right when he's pulling up at the gas station, they say like 10 years later, right, or whatever, or when he's driving past the one scene on the road, it's like 10 years later. I forget the exact opening, but you still have to go find another mask, and that was the mask that he happened to find.
The only thing you can excuse is that anybody would sell that mask in Haddonfield after the first movie, because you're like, well, it just seems a little
Correct.
it's
Get
a
rid of
poor
them all.
taste.
Yeah. But
Especially
there's always those
then.
knockoff masks that are always out there.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
Selling Jeffrey Dahmer masks, you know.
yeah.
Charles Manson masks I've
Yeah.
seen. You know what I mean?
It's
so
like
weird.
a good
Yeah.
example of that is like, and not to get off to a crazy mask, but if during Halloween season you'll go into these like thrift stores and they have like the rip off Jason Voorhees masks.
Yeah.
They're like slasher masks.
Glow in the dark mask.
Yeah. So it's like that, right? Like you're picking up a mask that
Yeah.
you know you're not going to get the authentic mask. It's just some slasher city mask.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, kind of like that what you find in the dollar store.
That's a good name, by the way, for a Halloween store, Slasher City.
Slasher City.
Slasher
I-
City.
yeah.
All right,
Hell
guys,
yeah.
we're
Hey,
opening one.
so like what we'll do, we'll make frequels super popular, and then we'll just open a costume store.
A mask store.
It's like Circuit City, but Slasher,
Slasher
City.
City.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it
Slashing
too.
our prices.
You sell knives.
Yes.
They need to be
Slasher
sharpened.
City.
All the gear to get you started on your serial killing career.
Yeah, we have all the masks you need.
We're not encouraging you to kill people, but we're also not judging you.
We
Sacks.
repurposed all our masks, like from
That's it.
Sons of Anarchy.
The lime and the shovels are in the back corner.
yeah. Yeah. Love it. So, Kara
Rusty
Strode.
chainsaws.
Yeah,
Yep.
rusty chainsaws.
Machetes? We got machetes.
Yeah.
We are a front business for serial killers.
Yeah, this is great.
Who's the
Trash
mascot?
bags.
We can't be responsible with what you do with this stuff. We just want you to let you know it's here for you.
We do not
Axis?
sell ski mats
Axis
because we don't condone robbery.
Only murder.
Only murder.
But if you are looking for one, aisle 5.
Aisle 5. It's called prom night. So, Kara Strode, she's listening in, which is Danny's mom. And she's starting to undress and get ready for bed. And she gets this weird feeling. And she looks out the window and she catches her neighbor, Paul Rudd, a.k.a. Tommy Doyle, peeping in at her.
That's your
on
hero.
his telescope. Yes.
That's your hero's introduction.
He's just like looking at her through this telescope. She looks over at him, and he just pops up, and he's just and not
He doesn't
even like
even try to
remorseful.
hide it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, oh no, I was caught, or oh, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's just like he just stares at her like, yeah, I did
Eerily.
that.
Yeah.
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 No,
I-
she
what
has
if,
a-
like,
no,
well,
it's because she has a sweet card collection and the coin collection in the background. That's what he's trying to
Yeah, that's what exactly
Zoom in.
He was zooming in on that.
It's like I got to peep on that.
You see him like moving her. Like, get out of the way.
Check out Danny's artwork. He's got some sweet
Danny's
skills.
killing it.
He likes
Crushing it.
dinosaurs just like I do.
Oh
We're
man.
gonna get
Look
to
at that
that.
stegosaurus.
Yeah. So
The
as soon-
attention to detail.
oh my god. As soon
I have a
as-
feeling he might have been zooming in on the art.
You know what?
Yeah,
It
okay.
could
Now
be.
that we're talking about this, like
Yeah,
he's, you know,
actually.
I could see that.
It was just
that's a good point.
unfortunate she undressed and he was still watching.
What if he was doing this signal to her? He's like telling her to get out of the way.
It's like,
Get out of the way.
yeah.
He's just like,
I
hold
could
up
see
the
that.
artwork.
I have
Yeah.
a strong suspicion he's on the spectrum.
Oh,
Right?
Tommy
Yeah,
Doyle?
100%.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He
he
definitely-
witnessed something so traumatic, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I think,
That trauma.
and I
carried
think that
into-
role of like the character that Paul Rudd played of Tommy Doyle was like perfect for like how he portrayed it.
Right.
It's kind of like twitchy and
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it was like entirely successful, but I got what he was doing with it.
Rumor
It's
has
like
it
you
they
see
tried to
more
get
of-
him back. If we remember, we talked about that. They
Oh,
tried to
for
get him
Halloween.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his approach better than Anthony Michael Hall just bringing down the karaoke contest.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like Paul Rudd who
Wait,
has
did-
like trauma.
Is that I saw that right?
Yeah,
that-
Where they're just like,
Same
hey,
character.
we got some
So
we got some victims here in aisle 3.
Shine the light on him.
Shine the light on the victims.
Hey guys, I know we're having a talent show, but I just want to bring up some fucking tragedy from 30 years ago.
Can we get the ventriloquist off the stage for a second?
We got some local celebrities.
Though, like why? Like who in their right mind is going to bring that up?
And you have like the nurse
people's
in the back.
families
She's
were,
like,
like, killed
does
and
this
murdered."
guy know how to party or what?
I don't know if this contest has a winner, but give it to that guy.
We should have saw this coming when we all started watching this film for the first time, going, "Oh boy, this is not going to end well." There was
Yeah.
going to be some weird shit happening in the middle of this film where people are going to riot,
Yeah.
and he's going to be like, "We all need to go do it."
Evil dies tonight. And they're like, yeah, that's pretty catchy.
You're like, "Yeah, right. Evil does die tonight. That's great."
This won't be a divisive catchphrase.
Right. So, as soon as Tommy Doyle is caught, which he doesn't even care, that she directly saw him, he's like, I gotta hop on the phone for my exclusive ranting about Michael and him returning. And I love that they're like, oh, local legend and person who saw Michael. He's like, I'm on the radio. And he like walks over. Like, yeah, I'm hot.
Big
Like,
night for me.
yeah, this is a big night.
I also love the idea of him recording himself. He's like, I'm gonna get on the radio tonight. I better record this.
Oh, yeah, he was. He had like the
I better have gear running.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we all do that when we used to call into like the radio station?
yeah, we
we
did.
used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Be like, 95.7, you're on the
we
air.
were
You're like,
poor
oh,
and we
I'm
had
on the
like
air.
we had like a little radio that we had to do. We didn't have like the setup that he has.
No, he had a massive setup.
Hey, you know what's weird? I guess he does the exact same thing that the Tommy Doyle does in Halloween Kills. He just does it over the radio. Because they basically, like their introductions, they just kind of recount their trauma.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think Paul Rudd did it better.
Oh, much better.
Like Anthony Michael Hall's was very USA Network.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're being kind.
I am being.
Have any of you ever called a radio show?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. We used to call all the time.
Please.
Yeah.
You have a story? I called Rush Limbaugh.
Did you?
Did you get on?
Did you get on?
Because I got through.
Wow.
I said something along the lines of, who do I have to kill to talk to Rush Limbaugh?
Oh my
And they
god.
put me on the air.
Oh my God.
Why would they do that?
Yeah. I'm gonna kill someone. Hey, wait! Don't say anything else.
That's
We're
it.
gonna
We're
get
gonna
you
walk
on the
right
air.
through.
Yeah, but it was insane.
We never went that far. I mean, we used to
No.
call into like Marywood Station or like
KRZ
University
and
Strand or
stuff.
like KRZ. And then we would tape it because we thought it was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it would just
I
be-
was on. Have you guys ever heard of the Dan Lebitard show? So there's a show on ESPN. It's the one of the reasons I love this is because of that show, and I was on that show like 20 times. I just called in incessantly and just was I have trust me, I've recorded it because I did what he did.
Which is cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll play those for you guys one day. But yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody else ever call or like win a contest? I have
yeah.
a really, really quick story. I was dating a girl in high school, and at the time, her mother was big into like she won us tickets to go to concerts and stuff like that, and she was really big into calling, and she won 2 Toyotas
Wow.
Shut up.
at a radio station, and then she showed up, and guess what she got?
An elephant.
2 toy Yodas.
Get out of here.
She got 2 little figures of Yoda.
Instead of like the 2 cars.
She thought she won 2 cars, but instead of winning 2 cars,
She
she
got
won
2
2
Yodas.
toy Yodas, which was fantastic.
What if she was like, this is
Yeah.
awesome?
Yeah. How
Great.
did they know?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a big Star Wars fan. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead. Happy I derailed.
No,
Fine.
I could
it
put
works.
something in my Dagobah playset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to say, so Paul Rudd, Tommy Doyle, he hops on the radio and he's talking about Michael and him returning and stuff. And I kind of have to say, like, Paul Rudd's voice, like his cadence that he uses in this film is like worth watching the movie alone. Like, I feel like he kind of has a very Dr. Loomis delivery with a lot of his stuff. I mean, Adam used to like impersonate his voice all the time.
I love
he'd be
Paul
like,
Rudd in this
when
film.
Michael Myers was 6 years old. And I'm like, I don't know.
I loved the
Yeah.
line of "not dead, just retired."
Yeah.
I thought that was a good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Very much alive.
Very
So-
much alive.
Off somewhere else, local alcoholic Dr. Loomis. No, but did you see all the liquor that he has?
So much.
Yeah.
He actually has more liquor than we do here.
But how great of a scene is that
I
to
was
see
jealous,
him
yeah.
in his own personal element?
Right.
You know, we've
Yeah,
seen
we've
this
never
character
seen
grow
him-
from the very beginning to where now he's retired.
And listening to
Yeah.
a shock jock. Why is he listening to Barry Sims?
Yeah, of
With
all
everything
things.
you know about that character, why is he listening to Barry Sims?
I have thought about that a couple times because you think about weird things when you're watching films, and I thought
Yeah.
maybe he knew that they were going to do a segment on the Halloween killings, Michael Myers, and he was like, you know what, let me tune into this. I'm retired now. I don't have to worry about and that's why he probably did
Maybe.
that.
Yeah,
he
well-
definitely thinks that the radio's supposed to be like an interactive thing because he's just like,
He's
whatever happened to that Halloween guy?
He's
Yeah.
talking to the radio.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was
Oh,
writing
he
a
was
memoir.
typing his memoir.
Yeah.
I also think that you could have subbed him building a ship inside of a bottle at that time because he looks like the type of guy that would build a ship inside of a bottle. Does he not or no?
I don't
Seems
know.
like he might get lost in a bottle.
Yeah.
Can we also say that in him writing this book, he wouldn't have been the biggest dick like they wrote into Rob Zombie's films, like where Dr. Loomis was like a huge dick.
Yeah, he was awful.
He was like terrible.
Yeah. No, I
Got rich and famous and didn't care about anybody.
yeah. I think like sometimes like people just listen to junk, right? Like I feel like there's like I always hear people talk like that. I'm like, wow, this person's super smart. I can't wait to listen to them on this podcast. And I'll listen to them and they're like, I like MTV's The Challenge. And you're like, I would never have put this person as like, oh, this person's a fan of that. You know what I mean? I don't know. So we have where Dr. Loomis is also listening to this radio station, and at one point a caller is like, that crazy kook Dr. Loomis is dead.
Oh, very much alive. What
Yeah.
does he say?
Not dead.
Not dead, very much
just very much retired.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he sounds very like tired.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
like,
exhausted.
Very much retired.
Because in real life, he was like a hair away from dying.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, look at what happened to Ben
One
Tramer.
foot
I
in
mean,
the
that
grave.
that thing alone, like, I would retire too.
It's his fault.
Guy melted in front of a whole neighborhood.
I love the way Dr. Loomis looks in this movie.
He does. Yeah, he looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It just that whole just fits perfect for what this film portrayed.
Donald Pleasance was like
He was
that
the man.
link to Halloween that you definitely felt his presence was missing throughout the rest. And even if they tried to bring a character in,
It's never going
it
to be
just
that
never
guy.
filled.
Can you imagine what
Yeah.
H2O would have been if he was a part of H2O?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't need to be, but like I know what you mean. Like,
But
if you
just
just
to
had him in
add
there.
it, like just to have that kind of
What I liked about him in that franchise is that he kind of gives you everything that you need to
Right.
become afraid of Michael Myers. Like when he just kind of goes off.
Like he
into
has
those
the
long-
answers.
Well, just like when he goes
Yeah.
off on those long soliloquies.
Yes.
Like you're just kind of listening to him and you're just like, oh, like that's what this thing is.
Yeah. He like draws
But he makes you
in.
believe it.
Correct. Yes.
You know, and I find that he's been like a gaping hole in the franchise since he passed away. You know,
Just
Absolutely.
exactly. Yeah.
they keep trying to like, you know, they're like, oh, well, Malcolm McDowell was a great choice. If you're going to have somebody
Absolutely.
do
I
it,
agree
why
with
not
that,
him? But
100%.
he's not Donald Pleasance. But moving on.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Jamie finds a bus station and makes a quick call to the radio station.
My other favorite scene.
to say, Michael Myers is coming. He's returning, and she's
Dr. Loomis,
like,
Dr. Loomis, Dr. Loomis, are you out there, Dr. Loomis? That's the first thing that always pops in my head with
The
that.
director's like, let the lions breathe.
she's like, got it, Dr. Loomis, Dr. Loomis. So
She's like Krusty reading the lines from the Krusty doll. Hey, that's such a
and then she goes and hides the baby in the restroom, which is a good spot.
Great spot.
A great spot. Michael arrives and Jamie escapes.
What if there's like a baby in there already?
yeah, like,
People just keep dumping their babies in the
Listen, that baby was like super quiet the whole time.
Yeah,
It didn't like start crying.
I know. It was just
So,
like,
it's like it knew Michael was around. It's like,
Yeah.
don't cry, don't cry, don't cry,
don't cry.
don't cry.
I mean, like, yeah, we'll get to that in a second too. So Michael arrives and Jamie escapes in her truck, only for Michael to catch up, knock her off the road, and then she is killed by Michael. And there is that great moment where she's like trying to reach out and touch his hands, and it looks like he's gonna do the same. He looks like there's a little bit of compassion. And he just like pushes
Pushes
her.
her in there,
Do you
yeah.
think he's like
Onto it.
chuckling under the mask?
Yeah.
I think so.
What is that
Think they're
death?
gonna help her?
What is that death? What does he put her on top of?
Farm
It's like-
equipment. Some kind of farm.
Yeah, it's like some sort of farm equipment.
But I feel like, is it like a hay separator where it's like
definitely
mo-
like some sort. Yes, I think you're on the right.
That
track
is
there.
gotta be painful, right?
Well, yeah, that's the point, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the way I want to go.
Yeah, put me on there. Hey, Bill.
If you could pick a way between going in your sleep or being impaled on
Yeah.
a piece of farm equipment,
then someone turning it on.
that looked
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
What is
that
it
was like one of the
for?
worst ones we've seen.
I think it's for like hay bales.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I think,
accept it.
and I've watched a lot of horse grooming videos where they like shave their. I know I'm getting. where they like take. Wait,
I can't wait to-
no,
horse
everybody
grooming
shush.
videos on the
Everybody
side.
shush. Where they like take the horseshoe off and then they do the nail on the. Do you know what I'm talking about?
This is-
But anyway, there's a machine that
Vince
you get.
Weekends.
I know. I'm sorry. You get a bale of hay and you throw it on this machine and it helps separate it. And I think that's what this thing was.
Dad, we have to use the bathroom. You've been in
I'm
there for
watching
an hour.
Damn it! I'm watching
videos.
horseshoe videos.
You should watch drywall videos, Dad.
Drywall's done.
Hey, can we just
Done.
that scene when she's like walking around inside the barn?
Yeah.
Where like again the flash
flashes.
of lightning and like you see him and then you don't see him. Like I love that stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's
Creepy.
pure magic.
Eerie.
It's creepy.
I liked it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I did.
That's when Michael Myers is most effective.
Yes.
When he's like a part of a
Like,
the
shit,
night
I don't know
and
what-
not so much like a guy.
Yeah, like I'm freaked out, like
Like-
trying to figure out where the hell this guy is.
I think he's scariest when he's out in the laundry.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah, I love
We'll get
that.
to that
Every
scene.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's classic, Michael.
So the next day.
Oh wait, 1 sec, because we're jumping through something. He kills Jamie and he goes over to the truck and he opens the truck, and he thinks he's got the baby. He pulls the blanket over, and it's paper towels.
Paper towels,
which
yes.
means that the baby's father is the brawny man.
That's actually, I've never really thought about that.
Yeah, that
I wonder
tracks.
if the brawny man was the guy drinking the beer outside the truck.
Just gonna say that.
yeah.
Right, Matt?
Yeah.
Strong
Matt was
resemblance-
thinking the same
strong
thing.
resemblance.
Maybe that was Jamie's.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think like they fired him.
What'd you say?
Jamie.
Where's my paper towels? I don't know.
I got a paper towel at the wazoo.
I got a younger brawny man to replace me.
So the next day, Kara's father and Danny's grandfather freaks out about some pranksters hung up a little paper Michael on the lawn.
Yeah.
So he's like chopping it down.
Which I'm assuming
By the
what
way, he was an
says.
asshole, that
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
I think what he
Huge
says
asshole.
was actually what Vince was saying while watching this movie. But the line was, "Enough with this Michael Myers bullshit."
Yeah.
Enough with this Michael
Myers?
bullshit.
In my notes, I have that as like a quote, and then
Yes.
it says Vince.
Yeah.
Vince.
Thank you.
So at breakfast, we meet the rest of the family. We have Deborah Strode, played by the awesome Kim Darby. I love her from Star Trek, Miri. Absolutely. And of course, she's Mrs. Meyer in Better Off Dead, which I love that movie too. Then we have
great
Tim
film.
Strode, who's Kara's very dated brother, and also Barry Sims' super fan because he has like that
Yeah.
T-shirt on.
Which I think we should all get that shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you
Played
know
a
what?
great Frankenstein, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked good.
I've been to a lot of conventions and I've never seen a Barry Sims shirt.
Well, we're gonna change that.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be a
That's-
pretty cool.
Yeah, why haven't they done?
And I would say, like, you would probably find most fans would not catch on to that.
right? Yeah, they might not get the
Like, oh,
whole
Barry Sims. What's that from? I know that from somewhere. It's
Yeah.
like subliminal. It's like, oh, Halloween 6.
Hey, I know you love Kim Darby,
Yeah.
right? Did anyone else notice that she was giving everybody less than half a glass of orange juice?
Hey,
It's the little
shit's
things that we
tight,
pick
okay?
up on. Yeah.
The gripe
Shit's
of that.
tight in the Strode house.
I was
Yeah.
watching the movie last night and was like paying attention to what she was doing.
Poor
and it's
Danny's
like
mom.
less than half a glass of orange juice for everybody in the family.
To be fair though, how many movies have you seen where the mother like prepares a spread and she'll be like, "Honey, I made food," and like just pancakes and eggs and everything, and he's like, "I'm just gonna grab a cup of coffee," and then he fucking leaves.
Or
So
like
it's
a piece of fruit.
just
Yeah.
like,
I'll see you.
no, I just gotta. I'm in a
Yeah.
rush, babe. Let me grab a
Yeah.
piece of toast.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair.
Money's tight in that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His typical project parents. Like, they just. Sorry, and EJ and I could say that because we lived in the projects.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, so fuck off because we know.
Yeah, we know.
Like, the
We-
father
we
was
knew the
just like,
struggle.
you know, he's total asshole.
Oh yeah.
Right? And, like, didn't care that it, like, hated that his daughter and Danny moved in.
Yeah.
But
was
to be
staying
fair,
there.
she immediately starts antagonizing him.
Well, yeah, Mr. Strode comes
And
in,
he's all mad.
And-
These kids were like
Yeah.
vandalizing his house.
and he's an asshole and completely hates his family.
Completely hates his family.
Yeah.
Seething
Like,
with
plays
anger.
a great, like, I hate my family
He
character.
like talks down to his wife and threatens her.
When he
talks
comes
down
home
to
for
the
dinner?
daughter. Yeah,
Yeah.
For
Where's-
breakfast.
Thanks for
yeah.
dinner,
Yes.
babe.
Yeah,
Or
that's
thanks for
exactly-
dinner,
yes,
hon. Yeah,
he is
later.
that. Yeah,
And then he calls like the grandson a bastard. Yeah,
you little bastard.
it's just like, oh okay.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Hey, Dad, what's up?
Yeah.
You know,
I like
He's
when
a
she like
kid.
slides Kara some money, and he's like, "Oh, I see. That's right. Give her
Yeah,
all the goddamn
yeah,
money."
yeah.
You know what's funny about that whole scene is that they didn't film any coverage. So like she slides money, but it's not very clear that she did that. You just kind of see her like her shoulder twitch.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, that's right. Keep giving her all her goddamn money."
Yep.
do-
What I'm getting at is when you're filming a scene like that, maybe just
have a little coverage.
A
we
little something.
See like a hand slipping some money.
Yeah.
something.
Just
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But I do have to say, like, the casting of Kim Darby and the actress that plays Kara, that's really good casting. They do look like mother and daughter. Like you could see it like in their face.
And they were great too in the film.
Yeah, and I noticed that last night. I was like, you know what? That's like some good casting. They definitely look like each other.
Listen,
Kim
if you're
Darby
an
plays
actor-
a perfect like abused
Yes.
wife. Like
Yeah.
she's like so.
She needs to be in like
Great.
more stuff. Like I loved.
Listen,
Kim
if
Darby.
I'm an actor or an actress in Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers,
Yeah.
like I don't care if I ever make another film in my life, I can be like, I was in Halloween 6.
right,
It's like, how awesome to say that.
I know. That's I mean, any Halloween. I feel like Paul Rudd too. It's
It
weird
definitely ramped
because he's
his.
so good, but he's in like a
He was
not
in
so
two
popular one.
films, that Clueless and that
Yeah.
made him what he is today.
I'll go back to Bloodline with Adam Scott in the
right.
sense that like he may not love it, but he has to appreciate it.
You have to.
Like
right.
he has to
You
appreciate
absolutely.
being in this movie.
Yeah, because it like at the end of the day, they're actors. This is a job.
Yeah.
And this job helped probably get
Get
other
him where he
opportunities
is now, where
Yeah.
he
You
is
have to appreciate
immortal.
that.
He eats like babies to keep
Right.
himself super young.
He never
Yeah,
ages.
never ages.
So basically, we find out that Kara, she returned home to go back to college. Mr. Strode just hates her and Danny and his wife, and he actually
He eats everything.
Yeah,
He does. He's a
smacks
miserable
Kara
sack.
like right
Yeah.
across the face, and then Danny pulls a knife on him.
Yeah.
and they're like, "All right, time to go to school." Should
What a
we
great
address this
scene.
issue?
Yeah.
No, let's just go right to school.
That's fine.
You know what's funny in the producer's cut? So like John slaps Kara,
Yeah.
and then they show Danny like looking out the window at the man in black, and he's just standing outside. And then
Yep.
it cuts to Tim, and he goes, "Get away from her!" It's like the timing is just so weird.
Weird, yeah.
Because like in the theatrical cut, it all flows nicely.
yeah.
Right.
Producer's cut, slap, looks out the window.
Yeah, producers
away
cut
from
was just
her.
slapped together. It was just like, here it is.
But yeah, so then they leave, and this is when we meet Tim's girlfriend, who gives Kara a little backstory on Tommy Doyle. And as Kara is listening, she notices Tommy Doyle watching from his window. Like a certified creep.
Yeah,
he's just
with-
like up there
With no
standing.
care of being caught or anything like
No,
that. He just doesn't care. He's just like, I'm looking.
Here's
Doesn't
your
matter.
lead.
And he literally is just watching her go like from like screen left to right, and he's just like watching. And she's like getting his backstory, and she's just like looking at him.
He's not subtle at all. Yeah.
Not
Hey,
at all.
At this point in the movie, did you guys realize that this was filmed in the 90s?
Yeah. Oh, was it?
I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it jumped out at you or not.
It was a different time.
It
Different
was
time.
a different time. Yeah.
So Tommy is listening.
Won't
to,
get away with that shit in 2024.
No.
He'd be arrested.
Yeah, if it, like he's in his house. He's just like looking.
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. It's weird.
Hey, you know what's weirder? Tim's preoccupation with his sister's sex life.
Yeah, that was. That's strange. It's a very like Tommy was so like,
Yeah.
hey, Kara, how's your sex life? I don't know. I had a kid once.
Didn't work out that well with the guy that I have the kid with.
So I don't know.
That's going to be in the Halloween TV series. We'll find out about
Who's Danny's
who's
dad?
Danny's dad. There you go. That's another filler episode.
If I ever meet Danny at like a convention, I just want to ask him, who's your dad? Like who?
Who's your dad?
Yeah. What's
When
the
I'm done
backstory?
tying off, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Danny, two questions. How old are you? Who's your
How
dad?
old are you?
how
And
old
let's
are
put a
you?
third one in there. How's your mom's sex life been?
Yeah. How's your mom's sex life?
That line, when you're a kid, you hear it, you're like, okay. Well, I was watching it last night. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
weird.
That's weird.
Well, the brother was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He reminded me of,
Are you trying to get to the fact that he might be the dad?
I mean, he's an interesting character.
He's very dated. He's a very like '90s
Yeah.
like character.
Yeah.
Like I can never see that character.
He's very Erie, Indiana character.
Yes.
Who was the main star from Erie, Indiana?
Omri Katz.
Yeah, he's
right?
like
Yeah.
an older version of him in this film.
Yeah.
I walked off the
I can
set
see
of
that.
Brain Scan to come over and do this one.
Yes.
Right. I love
Yeah.
Brain
Remember
Scan.
that movie?
Yeah, I love that
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
So Tommy listens to Jamie's call over and over again. And I have to say, his setup is pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and Tommy's room is kind of like the Batcave in a way. He has all these newspaper clippings everywhere along the wall in a desk, and then
wall
a
of
giant
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, then a giant recording machine that like Adam West had in his back cave.
It's like a reel to reel. I love that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right.
Was that supposed to be like impressive for a kid in the 90s?
Oh, absolutely.
Look at that
I mean,
setup.
that setup
that-
was like
it was.
most people didn't have that unless you were like Jim Reynolds running his grandpa's studio or
Or something,
Adam
right?
Horsgate Basement Records.
Right.
Do you ever go to somebody's house and they have like a tower with like a CD player, an
Oh, yeah.
amplifier, a
Yeah.
tape player, and then you're like, wow, these
impressive.
people, they must be
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone
Yep.
to us was always rich. So.
Yeah, everyone to us was always rich.
I get that too.
They can have a half a pound of Land O'Lakes cheese in their refrigerator. We're like, wow, you must be rich. Land O'Lakes is expensive.
Whoa. That's
My
pretty
mom
wild.
gets the dairy version of this. I don't know what it's called. It's like Land O'Cakes. It's like the knockoff version at Aldi's. I don't know.
We don't know.
Lake Erie cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so
It
good.
was only like 30%
Wow,
cheese.
you have name brand milk.
Right. Name brand milk.
Now made with 20%.
Now, man, with
Whoa.
vitamin R.
You have Honey Nut Cheerios?
Vitamin
in your
R?
cabinet? Wow, we get Honey Nut Cheerios.
You have malt.
We have to drink half and half. You guys have milk?
Wow, you guys can make real grilled cheeses here. We make gangster grilled cheeses.
Yeah. So, most of the clippings are of Michael Myers. Most. But I did notice that he has some of the photos on his wall. There's at least like 3 or 4 that are just guns or like Uzis.
Somebody's
Did
like,
you
we're
see
just gonna
that?
stick a bunch of shit up in here and make it work. No one's gonna pay attention except for weirdos like us. They're like, wow, that's weird. Why do you have that on your wall?
I just remember I paused it and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like Michael Myers. And then I'm like, why does he have a picture of an Uzi? And then it's like another gun and then another gun. And I'm like, is this like, wait, no one used an Uzi on Michael Myers before. Is that his plan?
Go to school in
maybe there were
Colorado?
guns found on the crime scenes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
I
they
don't
knew they
know.
were gonna make another film that featured Anthony Michael Hall that might have used an Uzi.
Wait, the Halloween TV show.
We'll find
Gonna
out.
explain all the
That's
guns.
it. They're gonna do a scene on just his wall, a flashback. Here's the reason why these were hanging in his room.
I'm all about this show.
Me too.
Me too. So,
Guys, I think we almost have 10 episodes we can
yeah,
send
I
to
know.
the...
I think we have a lot of good backstory
I
just
like,
from this.
I like to think that the people writing that show are listening to this and they're just writing it down real
God.
fast.
It's like, oh my god, there was an
slow
Uzi
down.
on the wall. Slow down.
Wow, this is terrible. We're definitely gonna make this.
Slow down, slow down.
Whoa!
Season
good
1 is going to be awesome. We're already getting a green light for season 2, I can tell you that.
This whole episode about the truck driver? Oh man, these guys are on to something.
Lucky for me, my
If we
uncle's
ever-
the one who greenlights these things.
Yes. If we ever meet Paul Rudd at a convention, I want to be like, so can you explain to us why there was like Uzis and shit on your wall?
You're like, I don't know, man. I just showed up.
Could you imagine if like you met him and like all you did when you went up, he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you." You're like, "I just have like one question." Like, I was watching Halloween Curse of Michael Myers like for like the 900th time last night. The first time I ever noticed that you have like weird shit on your wall.
He's just like pushing like a silent alarm button under the table.
Like arrest this guy.
I just picture him being like the lady from the Circle K. I don't know, man. I just work
here. Yeah, from Bill and Ted. Yeah. Yep.
So at the bus station,
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Tommy shows up and he notices blood on the floor, and then he starts to follow it all the way down to the restrooms.
Not before he sticks his fingers in it.
Yeah, sticks his fingers
Yeah.
in it.
There's some weird shit that definitely does happen.
He
For
starts
sure.
sucking it off.
Yeah.
Placenta.
This tastes like Myers blood.
Oh my god.
fresh.
Definitely related to Laurie Strode.
You could really taste the thorn.
He's a great private investigator. He really is.
Why isn't he a detective? So he follows this all the way down to the restrooms, and where he finds a baby in the cupboard, which is Jamie's baby.
Who's a baby in a trash can? Wasn't
Isn't
it?
it weird that no one else notices all this blood or like a whole blood trail?
I do agree. There is like a whole blood trail like that leads
Yeah.
to, and like everybody in that station, just train station didn't, or the
And
bus
there's-
station didn't walk by that.
Yeah, and there's like a ton of blood in
lot.
that sink.
There's a
There's a
ton
lot
of
of
blood.
blood.
That'd be funny if one of the workers walked by and saw it. They got real annoyed. They're like, not my job.
Not my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this train station, it needs like a custodian. 'Cause
Get this, the
what's going
custodian
on?
called off today.
Yep.
Now, I've been to a Port Authority in New York City, and it's bad, but not like blood trail abandoned baby bad.
Yeah, it's pretty clear as day that something definitely happened.
Right.
But like no one. But you know what though? I guess when you really think about it though, like think about it. Most people today just want to mind their own business, so they're like, oh, I don't want to. I'm not going to tell anybody about this blood. Like there'd be like something dead on the side of the road.
It's not my
They're like,
blood.
not my.
Yeah,
it's not my
responsibility.
blood.
Wouldn't it be so funny if while he's following the trail, he just keeps seeing customers walking behind him, slipping on it and falling?
You guys might want to clean up the jelly. on your floor.
And then just keep walking.
Yeah. No one pays attention. Hey, did you guys notice there's a lot of blood in your sink downstairs? Well, maybe somebody might want to clean it or call the cops or something.
You know, like we just got over the AIDS pandemic, right? Like,
Yeah.
we should probably clean this up.
There's a sign that says if this bathroom needs attention, but there's no number.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
My God.
So, at the body fluids are everywhere in this
Everywhere.
train station, man.
Yeah.
You just saw the blood.
This is how you know you're in 1995.
Yeah.
So only this shit would happen in 1995. Actually, no, it's probably still happening today.
Yeah.
No.
You really want to be grossed out? Pop on a black light.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So at the
Things happen here. We look the other way.
yeah. So at the barn, we see where Dr. Loomis and his colleague, Dr. Wynn, they arrive and they notice that Michael burned his mark in the hay, and Loomis is like, Michael's mark. He's into vandalism now.
I like
That's the first time he ever. Like he just.
Can you picture Michael doing that?
He's just like.
Worth it. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
He just like wipes his brow on the mask.
He's like Vince with that towel over there. Just like,
You know, it's like you don't really think about this, and I'm glad that we're talking about this film because now that we're talking about the film, it's like honest trailers, like where you like pick apart like the trailers and like you notice these things.
Yeah.
And like, who has the time to be doing that?
yeah.
Wait until we get
Nobody.
the tree. Wait until we get to the part with the tree. Barry Sims in the tree.
Oh,
I just
where it's
Yeah,
raining,
like-
it's raining red, mommy.
I just
And
want a
when
scene where he's just
Raining
like
red.
burning it into.
oh my god!
I'd like to think that Michael did all this vandalism, and then he was like, all right, time to get that baby. He's like, oh, it crawled away. Maybe I should ease up on the vandalism from this point on.
I could have got that baby if I wasn't so
They'd
indulgent.
spend 18 hours burning this into the ground.
He starts walking away from the haystack. He lights the match, throws it over his shoulder. He looks over real quick to make sure it hits, and he just keeps walking.
Smokes a cigarette through the mask.
Like cool guys walking
so
away
much
from
work.
explosions. He's like, yeah. It's all slow motion. It's like, did it.
And fools.
Uh,
But I do like, in all seriousness, that Loomis is up to date on his Michael Myers mythology.
yes.
Because the thorn thing never got brought up once. And he's
Nope.
just like, what's that? He's like, it's his mark.
Yeah.
It should have been like, since when?
Since the beginning of this episode. Yeah.
Loomis, when did you find this out? Should we have known about this?
Oh, in the last movie,
Did I not bring that up? I
Yes,
can't keep track of all my
That's
reasons.
why
It's
I'm
in the
retired.
memoir.
I mean, he has a good excuse. He is retired.
Yeah. So at the
Read
college,
the memoir.
Yeah. He's like, wait for my book to come out.
at the college, Kara finds a disturbing drawing by Danny, and Tim tries really, like tries to do a butthead impression.
Which is like,
And it's like, it's like
Butthead
not
impression.
good.
no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It was alright.
I think it's cool. Like it wasn't even like close to butthead. He was like, yeah, like butthead would be like, well, it's cool. I can't even do it. That was like more Tim. So, anyways, meanwhile, Tommy shows up at the
Was that in the
hospital.
script, do you think?
What?
Or
him
just
like-
like
Tim
off
does
script.
a butthead impression.
Yeah.
Hope not.
I don't know. I don't know why that's in there. Like, I'm just like, man, it's
a
really
90s
dated.
film.
Yeah.
That's in the actual
90s
shooting
film.
script. You want me to what?
Yeah.
I'm not reading this.
What if like Tim was like a thespian, like a
little serious,
Shakespearean
yeah.
actor, and he's like, This line right
got
here.
questions.
Yeah. Why am I delivering it like this? They're like, oh, it's from Beavis and Butthead.
What is that? By chance?
By chance?
That's probably exactly what happened in that scene.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Beavis
just go with it.
and-
Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Beavis and Butthead, you say?
Is that British broadcast?
How droll.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tommy shows up at the hospital asking to see a doctor. Did you notice that?
I need to see a doctor right now.
Yeah.
Is
He's
he,
like,
pissed
can I
off?
see a doctor? Like, he doesn't say doctor, it's like doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yeah, doctor.
Like very, very New York.
It was like, it was
Yeah.
very like New York, like Boston accent, like
Yeah.
changed up a little bit.
And so he ends up finding Dr. Loomis.
Wait,
Wait,
not
who-
before we actually get the worst nurse in history.
There it is.
He's like, there was an accident. He's
With
like,
my
I need a
kid.
doctor. And she's like, what kind of accident?
Right.
She's
Yeah.
so put upon.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't even offer to help. She's like, "Fuck, call security."
Yeah. She's like, get this guy.
Because he kind of just comes off like something really bad might have happened to his baby.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
I don't want to deal with this. The
And this
amount
is
of
where he
paperwork.
runs into Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And he rambles insanely to the point where Dr. Loomis is like, holy shit, is that what I sound like? Is that what I've been sounding like this whole time?
no wonder I'm not married.
Yeah.
I can picture Dr. Loomis on a date.
Oh my God.
So what do you do, Sam?
I track down evil.
I've looked across the table, past the table, at the spaghetti, at the other spaghetti, and I've seen it.
She's like,
It's
oh,
right
that's
there.
that's great. I'm gonna go get something out of my car.
It's pure evil, that spaghetti.
Not to mention, what are the odds of him being at the hospital? Why was he at the hospital?
Well, this is what doesn't make any sense. So
Oh.
Tommy shows up.
Wait, there's something in this movie that doesn't make sense?
Yeah, this
Go
part right
on.
here.
There's
so Tommy-
definitely like there's a couple gaps.
Please,
Right.
sir. Please, go on.
So Tommy shows up to the hospital to get like help for this baby. Runs into Dr. Loomis. He's like, Dr. Loomis, meet me at the campus tonight at 9 p.m.
He just, like,
I'll see
takes
you
off.
there. And then he just takes off with that baby.
And the way he holds it, he's just like,
Yeah. He's like, I got this it's a bus baby. It's a bus baby. I got it.
I really hope he's not a pervert.
yeah. He's definitely got a crazy way of holding the baby.
Holds it like a loaf of bread.
Yeah. I agree.
So at the Strode house, we see Kara's mom, Deborah Strode, doing some laundry, and Dr. Loomis shows up out of nowhere inside of her house, telling her about Michael.
I was going to say, explain that to me, but I don't feel that we have the time or the
freaking
crayons.
shit out of her, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
he breaks into the house and then he asks her if everything's okay, and then she responds with, "Who are you?
Yeah.
You might be the only danger in this house."
Yeah.
I feel, isn't there a part where like he literally sneaks up behind her and then like she's scared and he's like, "Oh, did I frighten you?"
Right, and he's
Like,
like,
yeah,
oh.
dude, you're fucking in my house. I don't know who you are.
you
Of
I feel
course,
like
you
Dr.
frightened me.
Loomis
Yeah.
has always been that way. He's had his moments where he's like,
Just sneaking up on
what
people.
was it, like part 2 or part 1 where he's like overly aggressive with like the sheriff's department?
Yeah. Oh, every movie he's like
He has his like moments where he's like super aggressive.
What about he's like shaking Jamie in 5?
Yes.
But you know where he is.
Yes, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. He's like he has these scenes where he's like super aggressive.
Yeah. That's why there's like moments where like Jamie's running to Michael Myers for safety.
Yeah, like, he doesn't even care. Like no one cares that he breaks into somebody's house because you just kind of expect that from Dr. Loomis. Like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, I just broke into your house. Let me tell you about what happened here.
The audience has seen me in 5 other movies,
Yeah.
so they don't think I'm a problem.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason to. Oh, that'll be another episode. Tell the backstory of why he does what he does in these films, so that way they're like, oh, now I get it.
He
This
he
is why
got the
Loomis
key
is
to
way
the
he is.
city a while back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
But he just
Exactly.
thinks he can enter anyone's home
That's it. Yeah.
without knocking or
100%.
ringing a doorbell. But so we see where Dr. Loomis in his stories like telling
just,
her about
just real
his
quick.
rage.
How did Dr. Loomis get into the house?
Just kind of came in.
Breaking and entering.
B&E, baby.
Just another one.
Vince's,
Go ahead, move on.
Horror movie
Sorry, just
observation.
wanted to
No,
let-
you're right because you bring that
How
up.
did he
Okay.
mistake
It
that
was-
Ben Tramer wasn't really who he was? The poor kid He's dead.
Burned.
Just burned and melted
Yeah.
in front of an audience, live studio audience.
Melted.
Melted right to the car. So
Was it him?
was it him? Was it him? So Danny is walking home and sees Tommy and drops his pumpkin. Call back to Halloween 1.
Yep.
With Tommy Doyle having that interaction with Michael.
Yeah, Tommy identifies with his abusers.
Yep.
Doing that
That's
to
how it
other
goes.
kids now.
Yeah. So
it.
Deborah Strode calls her husband and tells him about the warning, and he couldn't care any less.
No, he was a complete asshole again.
So she packs her suitcase to leave and gets taken out by Michael Myers, like Paul Allen with an axe to the face. And she, I do love, this is like probably one of the best kills in the movie, like chasing.
I don't know. That
kills.
first one
Like
was
the
awesome.
clothing line.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the clothing line,
I love
and
that.
he's like
Yeah.
shows up behind it. I think it was like one of the best ones in this movie.
And I think in general, I always think about it in those like great Michael moments because even
Yeah,
the
I
way
agree.
it's filmed, it's very disorienting.
Yep.
The camera's kind of just whipping around, and you feel kind of
She
lost
loses
in
her
the
glasses.
sheets with her.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
And then
she
that
can't,
last
yep.
one gets pulled down. That angle of him is like
so
pitch
good.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him just sitting there with the axe, like that's a great shot of Michael Myers.
And for anybody that wears glasses, I wear glasses. I have my contacts in. The minute I take these out, I can't see shit. So can you imagine losing and then having to take an axe, not realizing what's happened? Like that to me,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the person that's about to die,
Right.
not the scene itself. Like I can't see shit as it is, so I know something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, you're like, ugh.
Hey,
Yeah.
but just in defense of John Strode for a moment,
What?
I do have one because she's talking to John on the phone and she's like, some weird man broke into our house and told me a bunch of weird shit, so I think we should sell the house. From his perspective, he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And wait,
It's like a
Yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Torrance moment. And are you out of your fucking mind?
and do you remember his response?
What?
His response to the whole
He's like, you
situation?
lost it.
He opens the drawer and pulls out a bottle.
Yes.
That's his response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm
I can't.
working.
I can't.
A lot. I can't deal
Well,
with this.
and correct me if I'm wrong, right? If no matter how many times I watch this movie, he knew what happened here.
They all should.
Yeah, I think there was isn't there a scene where like she like even said to him like you knew that this happened, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, she
and
says
you
that
let-
on the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
His response should have been, how did you not know?
Right.
Because it's not like Haddonfield is like,
But here's the thing. Interest rates are down right now in Haddonfield, okay? And
Correct.
the property values are only going up. So
Yeah.
now is a great time to buy.
100%.
So regardless of whether someone's been murdered in the house, now's the time to buy. That's all I'm
Strode
saying.
Realty.
Okay?
Oh, all right. You must work for Strode Realty over there.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
it's his,
Yes, I do.
It's his
You got
side
the house
gig.
super cheap.
It's his
Why
side
wouldn't
gig
you
as
buy?
a disco instructor.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
When I'm not making pot pies.
I want to
Yeah.
know what they
Yeah.
got the house for. That's another episode.
Oh yeah, he bought.
Backstory
How
on
they
how
buy
the
the
house.
He bought it from his own brother.
Yeah,
So
Strode Realty.
He probably got a good deal on it.
I feel like we're like into season 2 already.
We're getting
I
there.
think so.
I think we're like 10 episodes deep.
I feel like these people all are from Haddonfield, right?
Oh, 100%.
And they're all acting like this whole Michael Myers thing is like a big mystery. Like it's like some government cover up. Because even later on, Tim's just like, wait, who's Michael Myers?
Who's that?
Well, I think it's kind of like kind of how they did it in A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Where they like hid it from the town. Like the town did their best to protect their kids and like hide
Yeah.
it from. So maybe like they kind of hid it from
Haddonfield?
newspapers and like people of Haddonfield.
Just say
to
it,
try to
Adam. You don't have a good answer. You're just making up shit.
So
I'm just trying to make it sound like it was a beautiful neighborhood and you should buy in Haddonfield.
Gotcha.
yeah. So Kara gets home and can't find her mom, but instead finds local peeping Tommy Doyle in her son's bedroom hanging out with Danny and Bus Baby, and she's actually way too chill about it. She's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like,
It's like when Michael Myers was 6 years old.
"I know."
It's like, you're a weirdo. Get out of here.
You come with me. And then literally the next scene, Tommy has them come over to his. He lives in a boarding house with Mrs. Blankenship.
Across the
Is
street.
this your
Yeah.
wallpaper? scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's computer.
Yeah.
But Kara should have walked right out or kicked him out of the house because
Right.
Tommy really does come off like a sex pervert.
He definitely.
Yeah.
for
Kara
sure.
walks in on a strange man who was peeping on her the night before, holding a baby, not likely his, with her son. Tommy knows all about dinosaurs. That's like textbook child molester stuff right there. Call the police, Kara.
Yeah, like why didn't she get out of my house?
Yeah, instead
was
she
like,
goes into
way
the
chill.
She goes into the belly of the beast instead.
Yeah.
like-
No, I agree with all of that. I think
Yeah.
anybody in their right mind, like even as a parent, you're like, what the?
This is
Yeah.
very unsafe.
Whose baby is that?
Yeah,
Where did you get that baby?
Where's the baby from?
Yeah.
That's a bus baby.
it's a bus baby. So
She is a lonely single mother.
yeah, she's
Matt hit it.
How
That's
lonely?
the reason why. I mean,
like, you know
right.
what? I'm gonna hit it real quick. Tim keeps bringing it up. I better just go to his house, get it over with.
so he's asking me about my sex life.
Maybe he'll stop watching me. Yeah. I'll just hit it and quit it. So
it.
Tommy invites Kara and Danny over to his house, which is actually a boarding house that he rents from Mrs. Blankenship. And in his room, we see more guns and a magnet of Divine on his fridge, which I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Then he
For all you Pink Flamingo fans out there.
yeah. And then he refers to his bat computer to show her everything she needs to know about the Thorn cult.
Which is your wallpaper with the
is.
Michael
Yeah.
mask.
That mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a
That's
creepy,
up on my
great
computer,
looking.
creepy,
Yeah.
very, very old. I love that.
Yeah. I also have all that history of the Thorn cult as well. And
I'm sure you
I
do.
bring over strange
Yeah.
people and just show them it.
Yeah.
I
You
want
just, like,
access
watch
to
your
that.
neighbors
Whoever
and then
created that
advice them.
website, so we can get that back online.
Yeah, seriously.
Start selling that to people.
Hell yeah.
Just tell you the history of the Thorn.
So he shows her this history about the Thorn cult, and she's like into it. She's like,
Yeah.
really? And he lived in my house?
She gets so close to him too. I
Yeah.
love it.
And he had
She's
like
like-
that weird moment when she got close to him, and he was like,
He smells her hair.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
gently.
he does smell her hair. Like she like leans in
"Yeah."
to
when she like
read
leans in to talk
more.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like he gets
Yeah.
like a good whiff.
Now again, why isn't she leaving? Because
intrigued by the
again,
ghost.
there's no real reason for her to believe anything that he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Why does she go next door? I don't know. When he starts going over the Thorn stuff, why isn't she like, okay, so this guy might
Yeah.
be a little fucked up. He's
Little
got
crazy.
a wall of crazy.
Pictures
with
of
guns.
Just a very.
Like,
he has a baby.
In the movie logic, you're
not
just
his.
kind of like, you know what's going on, but her character should have so many questions.
Like there's red flags everywhere.
Yeah, like why were you sitting in my son's
And you're-
bedroom, not the
Exactly.
living room,
And you're
or like
hanging
the
out with my
dining
son?
room? You're my son's bedroom with a naked baby in your hand. Because
Yeah.
God forbid he puts some clothes on that kid.
And is that baby not pooping? Like
Yeah, the
I
baby
didn't see
didn't
him
go.
stop to pick up diapers.
There
the
was
whole
no
time.
diaper
What
changes
if that was
in
like
that
her
film.
first thing? It's like, why is that baby small?
There really
Like,
was
keeps
though.
peeing and
It's
shit.
the little things. Like there was
Yeah.
no diaper changes in that film.
Yeah, no diapers at all.
Why would they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like this filthy baby.
Like not once was she like, "Do you think like we need to check the baby, like change it?" Or,
Yeah.
He's like, "No."
No, it's a bus baby. It's fine. We'll just go with it. I have a towel. Hello.
Little bus
This
baby.
towel is enough.
Can you imagine if like the scene where like Danny looks out the window and like Michael's there for a second, he just had like a bag of diapers. And then the next thing he looked and he was just gone. Then it was like closer and he had like another bag and he was like holding it.
Yeah, he has like all these supplies.
And it's like a sign, "I think you should change the baby."
You go down to the kitchen, he's like getting a bottle ready for the baby. It's like checking the temp on his wrist.
Yeah. He's like milking.
He's like
Breastfeeding the baby. Michael Myers.
Yeah,
zips
it's
his
like a
cover
pump.
up.
It's
You have Michael Myers pumping for the baby.
Oh my
for
God.
bus baby.
for bus baby.
To keep
Yeah.
out bus baby. Yeah.
So
Michael Myers just wants to be a mom.
That's
You
it.
just- yeah,
that's all.
that's all he
that's,
wants.
That's it. That ends the curse.
Dr. Loomis is like, I had this all wrong.
Had it all wrong. All
He
he
just
needed
wanted
to
to
do
be a dad.
to a single mother.
That was his whole goal.
That's why he went after Jamie. He was like, "Oh, she doesn't have her parents. I'm her uncle. I can
I'll
take
be
care
your
of
dad.
her."
It's just because he can't talk. He's just trying to like approach her.
And they're like, "Oh, he's trying to kill her." It's
No,
like,
no, hold on a sec.
no.
Jamie, come here.
Michael, then the thorn passed on. He's like, hey, I just want to say I'm so really sorry about all this. I'm happy you're my brother-in-law. Sex life has been so good for her lately.
It's like a Tucker and Dale versus Evil kind of thing. Like people just keep accidentally getting killed by him.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't mean that.
Oh, they're gonna blame me for this.
Hey, stop trying to shoot me with that shotgun. So then Tommy's like, hey, you stay here. I gotta meet Dr. Loomis, BRB. Right? He's like, he's the one man that could probably figure all this out.
Get it all done. Yep.
TTYL.
Even though he's failed over and over again.
Very much retired.
We might need some fresh ideas.
So at the campus, everyone is gearing up to celebrate Halloween and the live broadcast of Back Talk with Barry Sims.
Is that when Tommy is like walking with his hands in his pocket?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like very
I love that
slowly.
whole sequence.
When
I think
everybody's
that's
like
awesome.
doing all their stuff
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah.
It's like out of focus.
I love him just like walking, and then it keeps
Yeah.
cutting back to Mrs.
I
Blankenship,
love that
and
scene.
she's telling that story. Like that's
Yeah.
like a great sequence, you know?
It fits the theme of Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it would have made like good for like a trailer too. Like
It
that.
wasn't a trailer, I think. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
I think
it
so.
was.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
There's a couple of times where I'm like, oh, that feels like a trailer shot. You know what I mean? Like or like a scene specifically just for the trailer. Like later on when Tim comes home and they're acting out the whole like Michael Myers thing, and she's like, then he came upstairs. I'm like, oh, is this like that would be like a teaser
Sure.
thing. You know what I mean? Anyways.
You know, it's a really funny thing. So a while back, I listened to a commentary track with Daniel Farrens,
Yeah.
and he said, he's like, I remember at one point, he's like, the editor got really excited, and they called me in, and they were talking about that sequence where it's like cutting to Tommy and then cutting to Mrs. Blankenship.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, look what we figured out. Look what we did. And he's like, yeah, that was written like that in the script. It's like one of those things where they were like, this was our idea. And he's like, it's in the script.
In the script, yeah.
It's written that way.
I wrote it that way.
That's how creatives are, man. They just try to get you
It is a great scene.
Yeah.
It is.
And there's a like probably some of the best dialogue in this scene coming up as well.
I really liked when they, at the very, very end of it, and it shows a shot of Michael breastfeeding the baby.
I do. Or like Paul Rudd's like, hey, Tommy's like, hey, listen, I know like you're probably gonna end up trying to kill us, but should I change a diaper quick here? Or...
Yeah.
You don't seem like
happy
you
to help
got
you
a
out.
handle on this yet, but all it takes is a psychopath's touch.
Listen, I don't want your overalls to get anything on them. Like that.
Just stay clear, man.
Michael Myers himself must stink, by the way.
Oh my god.
You ever think about that?
He probably does.
He probably smells like smoke and like burnt flesh. Right?
I feel like there's a hint of gasoline. I
Yeah.
don't know
Oh, there's
why.
gasoline.
There's definitely gasoline there.
There's some BO going on.
Oh,
Some
definitely
BO.
BO.
It's like when you go see a heavy metal show.
Yeah.
You walk in, you're like, oh,
Ah,
I'm up. I'm up.
I'm
Yeah.
awake now.
it's like smelling
I'm
salt.
awake now.
I'm up here. Yep. I
So,
agree.
Mrs. Blankenship.
Episode season 2.
Right.
Find out what he smells like.
What Michael smells like.
And he's just walking through like a Magic the Gathering convention.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was that
Yeah.
John Waters movie where he made like a scratch and sniff thing for his movie?
Scratch and sniff?
Yeah, like there was man, I
Scratch
forget what
and
it was
sniff
called.
and taste.
But he made like a film or something, and you can scratch off like the scent, which would line up with like the movie itself. It doesn't matter.
Was it Pecker?
No.
So
it
what
wasn't
you're
Pecker.
saying is we need a scratch and sniff for the Halloween series.
Yes.
Yeah, we should.
This smells like gasoline.
Every episode
Yeah.
has its own scratch and sniff.
Yeah. It
Soiled
needs-
diaper.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Like 4 different sections,
Yeah,
and like
absolutely,
you
yeah.
but like as it leads to commercial break,
Correct.
You can scratch and sniff what's going to lead to the next thing. I
So
like
So
you
the
that.
episode
have-
with trying to figure out with Michael, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, he smells like, does this smell
he
like
smells-
ass?
It smells like
It smells like ass. He
It
smells
is.
like
It
ass.
does.
Like
We knew it. Oh
swamp
my
ass.
god! All this time, we knew he smelled like ass.
Wow.
This is exactly
The
what it
fact that
smells
you
like.
knew exactly what that smelled like.
That's
wow.
it.
Okay.
Funny if
Smells
there
like
was
the
like a
land-
movie where like Michael is like approaching somebody, like like sort of stealthily behind them, and they're like,
Oh my god!
oh, okay, Jesus.
But he's not even really
Yeah,
that
he's
close.
like 20.
He's like way back there. It's like Jesus,
You
dude.
smell something? Oh my god!
Buddy, listen, if you're gonna kill me, do it now. I can't Just do it.
Dude, you
Go ahead.
fucking smell, man.
Come on.
I mean, we can do this, but you must. I need to throw up. Oh my god!
Please, for the love of God, just stab me already.
And I hope like the episodes have like a flash where it's like, scratch now, and it just like really throws off the whole scene.
Scratch here.
Scratch now. So Mrs. Blankenship tells Danny about Halloween and about the voices Michael used to hear when he was a kid that led to him killing his family.
She was creepy too, by the way.
Oh, she was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
As far as exposition goes, that was delivered perfectly.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. That was a really good
I
scene.
agree.
Yeah. And so at Backtalk, Barry arrives and everyone is like losing it. Meanwhile, back at 45 Lambkin Lane, Mr.
How do you know?
Strode.
How do you know that it's Lambkin Lane?
Oh, brother, it says it.
Oh, it says it. You
So-
can't miss it.
Yeah.
You don't even need ways to get there.
So Mr. Strode gets home
there.
and he's pissed there's no dinner. He's like, oh, no dinner. Figures.
Yeah.
You know, he's just such a...
He's
He is.
he's living in 1954.
Just a couple
Yeah.
hot dogs thawing in
Yeah.
the sink.
Yeah, he's a rough character for sure.
But Michael kills him via electricity.
Yep.
And to the point where his head explodes, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen Michael kill someone via head
I
explosion.
think I've said this before in a previous episode. Does he prefer electricity as a death method in a lot of movies?
Bucky.
he killed Bucky that way, and he kills John Strode that way.
I think that's it though.
I think.
I think
Is that
that's
it?
it, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
His wife was in the dryer or washing machine,
Yeah.
right?
Unclear.
Because then
Yeah.
there.
No, she's like up in the attic. Remember,
Oh,
like,
that's
the thing
right.
falls down
Yes.
and she's
Just
there?
the clothes
Yeah.
on
But
the wash.
Michael was
There's-
actually
but there's
doing their
something in the-
laundry.
I thought there was a scene where like somebody was like there was like a head or something in the dryer.
Yeah, I always thought it was her head, but maybe it wasn't.
Because
her
then they
head's
try to
intact later on.
replicate that, like Rick Rosenthal tried to replicate that in Resurrection,
Yeah,
where they had the dryer scene, the head was going around.
right.
One of the 47 versions of this movie probably had a head in the dryer or the washer.
Oh,
but for the
for
record,
sure.
I do like to imagine Michael Myers doing laundry.
Oh my god.
Me too.
Starting that up.
He's a
He's like,
beautiful man.
everyone's
Just like-
talking shit about me smelling. I better wash these
Wash-
clothes real quick.
He just folds such good linens. He's
Do-
just like such a good.
Do I put the softener
Druid
in now? Or?
symbol to help me with my BO.
See, not a bad guy. I mean, if he's doing laundry, he's not a bad guy.
No, that's what I'm saying. All the little things where you have to imagine the stuff we don't see
That's
is
what I'm
very
saying.
funny.
So
I
like
can see
you
him
have
also washing dishes.
do you have Michael separating the blacks from like the colors
Yeah,
and all?
he's
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
want these colors
Yeah.
to run.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
like, I hate when that happens.
Hey, that'd be a good
We're out of
like
bleach.
commercial for
Really
detergent.
grinds my gears.
I want my victims to run, not my colors.
Another graphic that has to be done. Michael Myers doing laundry.
Yes. Yeah.
Holding up like Tide.
Yes, that is getting done.
So, back talk. Shock Jock Barry Sims is asking to move the show to the Strode house once he finds out that Tim lives there, and
Tim has,
Tim's
like,
kind
no
of like
idea.
sabotaged by his girlfriend a little bit.
Yeah.
and because his
like-
girlfriend's
right.
like very anti Michael Myers and is like, oh, we spend too much time talking about it, and it's really weird that he lives in the Michael Myers house. And he's not scared, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not scared."
Nice house.
Yeah.
Strong wood.
Strong,
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, it's almost like
foundation.
very like
Yeah.
dances around like the fact that like it's almost like everyone's oblivious that they like live in this home.
Yeah,
He is very confused.
it's like
very confused,
only
right?
the Strode family
Doesn't know.
doesn't know. Everybody else is like, "Yeah,
They
we
got
know.
it. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
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 Wait, is
Because
this?
it's very confusing that it's such a to-do on the campus that he is so in the dark about all this. It's
Very.
like it doesn't
There's no
track.
like too much in the dark.
And by the way, Vince, Barry Sims, do you remember him getting murdered in Silent Night, Deadly Night?
I know. I blacked that out, man.
Mm-hmm. Remember the guy, the boyfriend with the Leanna
The
Quigley
pool table.
in the pool table?
Oh yeah.
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 I
was
believe I
Barry
told you
Sims.
it's very uncomfortable to
Barry
have
Sims.
sex.
First
with
Yeah.
him.
person that ever
Yeah.
told me that, how I became aware of that, Mr. Matthew Renaldi. You told me that once while we were watching
Now I'll have to
Futurama.
go back and take a look at that.
I'll never
because
forget it.
that's, I always like stuff like that where you're like, oh, never would have known this.
Yeah.
He told me
listen to
that
you.
while we were watching.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Sometimes I might look like I'm sleeping or
Not paying attention, but he
staring
is.
off in a different direction, but I listen to everything. you
He's
say.
logging it all. Yeah, he's got it.
He
Yeah.
logs it in.
Are we at the point in the movie where my favorite line comes? Or are we there yet? Or
Where
no?
Barry is
None of us know what that favorite
Barry
line
Sims
is.
is cussing out his agent.
No. Where he talks
And he
about a
calls-
dog.
Oh.
I love that. Are we there? No, we're
No.
not
I
there.
think we're at the
Okay,
scene where he
okay,
calls Michael Myers a pussy, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
oh,
he's like
okay.
cussing out his agent.
Now,
and he's
okay.
like, and you tell Sarducci, fuck him too, right?
Never
he ends
a
up
good idea.
like,
If he was in this van right now, what I would say to him is, "You are the smelliest serial
good
killer."
Yeah.
Smell like shrimp.
so yeah, Tim, he,
Real quick, just I have this in my notes. There's a line that Barry says. He says, "Kick the audience in the face enough, and they will lick you all over," which I'm fairly certain is the motto for Disney these days.
it is, it's a true story.
I thought you were gonna say that's our new phrase. I like that.
Actually, I'm going to do a second take of that. That's just like Hollywood in general today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Like you just
Even-
leave the
even
theater
us.
and you're like, "The Strangers, really?"
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we kick our audience in the face, but we're not shy about it.
No.
We're
Right.
not pulling anything on anyone.
We're telling
Since
you-
episode
yeah.
1, I have been telling this audience to go fuck themselves
Yeah.
Over and over.
over
It's
and over again.
It's unnecessary.
Unprovoked.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right. I think Hollywood doesn't care what they bring to the table because people are going to go buy it versus like us as movie buffs, horror buffs, whatever you want to look at, where we're like, we really do critique it. We're like, this sucked.
Yeah, don't
we
do
keep
that.
going to
Yeah,
see it.
stop.
Matt, you and I both knew. You knew this too. Going to see The Strangers, that it was going to be exactly what it was. What did we do? We went and saw it.
Yeah,
We're the
and
problem.
and we're gonna
Because I
see-
think you guys wanted to see if you were right or wrong, and you
That's
were like,
true.
knew we were going to be right.
So at the fair, we get this great scene where it's raining red, mommy.
Oh, I love
it's
that scene.
raining.
Love
and
it.
it's warm. And then Paul Rudd sees it, well, Tommy Doyle, and him and Dr. Loomis. And then all of a sudden Barry Sims like falls from the tree. And he's just like tied with Christmas lights.
Yes.
Out
And
of
there's that,
season.
and
You know what
every
I'm
like
thinking.
major scene has that weird like sound effect where it's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like that weird,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Wouldn't you love to have had a scene where you saw a couple walking together and they look over in the distance and they see him, Michael Myers, throwing Barry Sims up into the tree?
He's like,
Just swinging him.
But he
Yeah, he's
fails
just
at least 5 times.
He misses.
Damn it.
Yep. I mean, hey.
he gets so mad he just like kicks the ground.
And then he takes him down, he gets him up there, but then he's like, "Oh no, I should wrap up Christmas lights on him."
Yeah.
He's wrapping them up.
How can I get him to stay? Oh, well, Christmas lights.
He's looking around for a power source. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I gotta plug this thing in." He's looking around.
he sets up a pulley system finally.
Yeah, he just, like,
He's finally figured it out.
It's like, we got this under control now.
he's like slowly pulling it. Like it's like
He has to stop for a second, take a break.
he's just making sure it's in
He
the
ties
right
it to the
Yeah,
bottom
he's
of the
like-
tree for a second.
time.
Like, who has time for this?
Yeah.
Like, does he have time?
Michael.
Hey
he's
kid, give me
crushing
a
it.
hand, will you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael needs a break.
He must have some pretty good hours.
Come here for a second.
Hey, you, come here.
Me?
Yeah, hold this
Hold this rope.
The little girl holds it, grabs the rope, and then she gets pulled up.
Oh my god.
Good sound effect.
Thank you.
Hold that rope for me. So they're like, oh no, let's get out of here. We have to go back to
The trauma, but the trauma of which that child has to live with
for the rest of her life.
the rest of their life.
That's it, yeah.
They don't address it. Maybe the TV show.
Oh, another episode.
Oh.
The girl in white.
The tree
The
episode.
little girl's like, I was only 5 years old when I saw him.
That's
Michael,
what you made.
when I was
I
5
was only
years
5
old.
years old when I saw Michael for the first time. He
Was it
held
raining
me-
red?
He had me hold the pulley to get the man in the tree.
Barry Sims. He was the Howard Stearns of Haddonfield.
I heard that
It doesn't even say Howard Stern. Howard Stearns.
Howard Stearns.
There's multiple. There's more than one.
I heard they actually did offer this role to Howard Stern, and he was like, "Nope."
Really?
Yeah.
Is that real?
That's
Is
a
that
true
true?
story.
True
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
He's like, can I bring Robin? They're like, no.
I actually think he would have been pretty good as a Barry Sims. Actually, would have been really cool.
Yeah, no, that would have been interesting.
Actually, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's
it
true,
did
that's
happen.
pretty awesome.
That would be very interesting.
Barry.
Oh, very interesting.
So Tim returns back to his house with Beth, and he's asking her, "Hey, is it true that I really do live in the Michael's house?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's true." And then she kind of like reenacts the sister coming home in like when Michael was a kid. She's like, "Yeah, then like the sister and her boyfriend went up to the room, and it gets really weird that they're like role playing."
What a strange kink.
Yeah, because she's getting
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. Like she's like into
It's
it.
turned on.
Yeah.
Then he stabbed her.
And then they
Cut
hook
it
up.
out, Beth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The reenactment. Yep. Yeah. He got like nervous and stuff. He was always kind of like quirky, like in this entire film.
Right.
Like
He's
he's
like, cut it out,
he
Beth.
didn't want any part of this. He didn't want any part of this.
Cut what out?
Cut it out.
This? Stop.
I like how they're like, let's go upstairs and light some candles. But like Barry Sims literally told them like 5 minutes ago that he's bringing a whole like camera crew over. So they're like,
yeah.
let's have sex right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they realized that
Some candles look
maybe he got lost. They're like, we got more time because like time just passed by. They're like, maybe he's not coming now.
Yeah.
I try to justify
They
some
just
of
got
these
home.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like the end of Pet Sematary too. We like all the candles. It looked
There
Yeah.
was so
Or
many
the lady in
candles.
white, whatever. Like there's so many candles. Like, why do you need that many candles?
So Tim and Beth, they hook up in his sister's room in her bed.
Which again, just weird.
Not weird.
He has his own bed.
Yeah.
Maybe he had some sort of like weird obsession.
I think he 100% is
I mean, the
that
fact
baby's
that he
dad.
asked her about her sex life and
Yeah.
then he's
He's like hooking up in her bed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and then he's like
I
kind
never
of
really thought about that.
like kind
Yeah.
of being weird about it. He's like, yeah,
All right. This is my sister's room.
yeah.
yeah, light
know
as
my
many
sister?
candles as you need.
The one that has a kid.
That guy across the street's recording video for me.
You know,
Oh,
Tommy
yeah.
Doyle.
He's like this.
So he goes to shower, and he's taken out by Michael Myers.
Well,
And
not before Michael gives him a towel.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that he gave him the towel.
I like to think he was trying to get a tip.
yeah, he's like rubbing the little fingers together.
Yep.
But he just gets a stick of gum instead.
Oh yeah.
Like Home Alone.
Michael just starts choking him out.
Yep.
He's like Rob Schneider in Home Alone 2.
Could you imagine if Michael Myers went to go hand him the towel in there and then they did like the Home Alone scene where he's like, "You little pervert, what are you doing here?"
Get out of here, you little pervert.
And Michael's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get out of here."
Michael just grabs his head. He's like,
yeah. Cool Whip. He's like, get out of here. So he goes to the shower. He's taken out by Michael Myers. And Kara then witnesses Beth get taken out by Michael. This is a great scene. I always love that too, where she calls to the house. Beth answers. And she's like, get out of there. There's someone behind you. The way that played out, that's actually a really good scene.
I think
did
they
like that.
should have really, really stretched out that whole like rear window premise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's obviously what they were aiming for.
Yeah.
But like, I wish that was a little bit longer because it's great.
Yeah.
And he looks awesome when he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
stabbing her and
So
stuff.
good. As this is happening, her son, Danny, just wanders over to the house, and Kara, gives chase. And inside, Kara finds her brother dead, Beth dead, her mom, and kind of like parts of her dad. Then
It'd be funny if she was just like, oh no, Beth, oh no, Tim, oh no, Mom, Dad.
I'm down. All right.
Yeah.
I also,
really need him.
I also want to mention she has no control over her son. Like
yeah.
her parenting abilities are like level 2. Like she can't. Like she's asked her son, like, could you not do this? Not to mention that her son pulled a knife on her grandfather, on his grandfather.
And they don't really talk about it.
Yeah, just keep. Yeah, it's all part of it.
But is he being controlled by the same? I guess my question.
Well, he
has
hears
always been,
voices,
he hears
so-
the voices, so he's being
Yeah.
controlled by the same peeps that are controlling Michael.
You
Let's
still
hope
would want to
he
have a conversation with your kid. Like, I know Uncle John or grandfather John is a real asshole, but you can't pull a knife on him.
Pull a knife. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
no, you're right. We definitely need to still have the conversation.
Yeah, just
for sure.
take him out back. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I know, I don't like him either, but you're being weird.
yeah.
Yeah. So Kara then finds Danny and comes face to face with Michael. She and Danny flee the house, and it's to that awesome score. And I love that heavy metal like sound to it. It's
Yeah.
like, or grunge, really. Yeah, that is like the best part. That
And it was Alan Howarth did the
yeah, who is an amazing composer.
who also did Halloween 2.
2 parts of
3,
3,
4,
4, 5, and
6.
6. But then he also did all, like The Thing, They Live.
Yeah, he was like kind of did a lot of the
Big
did a lot of
Trouble.
work with John Carpenter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did a really cool take on the scores. I felt
Yeah.
like he kind of
Especially this
took it,
one.
made it his own, and put a really cool kind of like spin on it. He used a lot of synthesizers like in the earlier
Yeah.
parts, and I thought like the score for 6, like,
Yeah,
which is just awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole like is
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
That I feel like that was the big misstep of H2O was not utilizing him, because that's the thing. Like his score is so great in
Right.
all those Halloween movies, and then they got like,
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they
not
made,
very good.
They made H2O very like classical. It was very
I like the orchestral stuff they play.
Yeah.
but I mean, like it's more like the scream cues that they use that kind of.
yeah.
There's a lot of little pieces of Halloween music just laying around.
I actually liked it was
Yeah.
Danny Lux that did Resurrection. I actually liked his take on the theme, even
Yeah.
though Resurrection wasn't like obviously a great film, but the theme itself was like a cool, like how it was like into like the with the piano. It was like just so well done, but it didn't. I don't think it got enough credit, because of how the film obviously played out.
Well, because no one heard it play during the credits because everyone got up and left.
After Buster Rhymes was like, trick or treat, motherfucker.
Or the
One of the
Michael
best
Maz in a
lines.
soundbite. Killer Shuck in baggy overalls. Just embarrassing.
But the score was awesome.
Yes.
Well, at least it had that.
It did have that. You got to look at the pros and you got to look at the cons.
Yeah,
I
you know
like
what else?
Brad
You know what
Lorry.
else
I like
happened?
Brad Lorry, though.
Yeah,
Brad Lorry was awesome.
He was good.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of the shots were in focus. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gets to Tommy Doyle's, and the baby is missing, and that's when a bunch of the Thorn cult members show up, and they drug Dr. Loomis and Tommy Doyle, taking Bus Baby and Kara and Danny. And Dr. Wynn, turns out, is behind the whole
The
thing.
leader of the pack.
Yeah.
And he never really gets to explain why he's got a Dr. Claw voice.
Yeah.
Don't need to.
Get you next time, Gadget.
That's good.
That's
Adam,
good.
that was
That's really good. Yeah.
That was pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Are
that
you
guy.
the man in black?
I am the man.
He could be.
Hey,
Yeah.
for all you stupid assholes at home listening right now, Dr. Wen was in the first Halloween for like a scene. That was the way they decided to tie it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Wen is the guy who's like, we did everything we could.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep.
the dad from Dharma and Greg? I'm making a very vague rest.
Are you talking about Mitch Ryan?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
never
he was
watched
in,
it.
He was in Dharma and Greg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You asked that rhetorically.
Yeah.
I know,
I was like,
I'm
I
sorry.
have no idea. I never watched
So
Dr. and
sorry.
Greg. When Loomis and Doyle come to, they rush off to Smith's Grove because Dr. Loomis is like, I think I know where they are. So,
Did you like Kara's decision to just jump out of a window rather than doing anything else?
Just threw herself.
I mean, she had to do
So many options.
something.
yeah. She's like, oh, maybe I could, like, grab that gun that's hanging up on Tommy Doyle's wall?
Nope.
Something.
No, I'm just gonna jump out the window.
She makes this really comical scream and just jumps out a window, which I imagine all the Thorn cult people were probably just shrugging their shoulders like, all
All right, that works
God,
for
we're so
us.
lucky. We've all should have been killed 5 minutes ago, but she decided to jump on. No.
Yeah.
Did anyone else think she was gonna do that? Because that was a big surprise to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, surprise here too.
It's great. Yeah.
So Loomis finds Wynn right away. I love that it's like the first door he walks in, and like Dr. Wynn's just there. He's like, "Hey,"
Very
seen you in a
relaxed.
minute.
Yeah.
And so he explains. He's like, "Yo, I want you in because you were there on the ground floor, and I think I could get you in. It's not like a pyramid scheme or anything. It's just that I could get you in if you want to do it." And Dr. Loomis is like, "Are you crazy?" And
Yeah, wants no part of it.
right, and so he's like, "Oh, just knock him out." So there's this random member that just shows up, knocks Dr. Loomis out. Meanwhile,
Which the one thing the producer's cut did have over this is that they gave context to that conversation.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really like that scene a lot in the producer's cut. You
Well,
know?
I think
Yeah.
the problem is that there's definitely scenes in the producer's cut that could have been used in the theatrical cut, but I feel like again however that film production went, they were like, we don't have enough time to be taking pieces from here.
yeah,
We're just gonna roll with what we have.
I mean, I feel like they probably still could have used it, and
Yeah,
it would have
I
worked
agree.
just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there were certain things that they couldn't because of the way the storyline changed from.
Yeah.
But to like something like that, yeah, 100%.
But instead, it's like Dr. Wynn says something to Dr. Loomis.
Right.
Dr. Loomis responds in the most awkward way because it's like they're having two different conversations.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
That scene
Somebody
is
hit him
awful.
with a stale hoagie
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah. I got it from the cafeteria. Meanwhile, Tommy Doyle looks for Kara and the kids, and he comes across one crazy lady, which is so funny because she's like, "He's back, and he's back from the darkness," and then she looks down and she's like, has a huge hole in her stomach, and she
Feel to be damned.
yeah. She falls in. I love Paul Rudd's reaction, and I'm pretty sure it's like his real reaction. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's so good.
that lady creeped me the fuck out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole just the whole way
amongst us,
that
brother.
that scene is shot.
Yeah.
When
It,
they're-
it does look awesome.
Yeah.
So
By the way, Vince, none of this shit was in the producer's cut.
Okay.
Completely different ending.
Completely.
Really?
Yeah.
different
What
take,
happened
yeah.
was a bunch of 14-year-old kids. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing that happened. A bunch of 14-year-olds got to be like the group that saw the film for the first time, the original cut,
Okay.
and they said that fucking sucks. So they like, panicked and they're like, "Fuck, we'll reshoot it," and made it a terrible time for everybody. They took the word of children,
Over.
and then
Okay.
they reshot the movie basically, and no one had a good time making this movie.
yeah.
Is the director's cut readily available?
Yeah, it
or-
is.
Oh
now.
yeah, it's like cleaned up and
Now they actually the 4K that I bought. That's
So
actually
I
one
just-
of the extra discs in it.
yeah,
Oh, that's
We
awesome.
live in a world right now.
I know.
where there is a 4K of the producer's cut.
which is
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
I remember, I think you were the one that had it.
Yeah, I
first
have
and
it because
you
the box set that I have. Well, the one that I got was like a laser disc,
Yeah.
but then I have the box set that's not. It's Blu-ray, but it's not.
Yeah, that one that came out in like 2014.
Yeah, and the producer's cut on that is like great.
yeah.
Is
I bought the single disc of that because
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's just awesome.
Just
It
a
was like a
different-
weird moment of
Different,
being
like it's just different in general.
so the producer's cut. Do you guys both have this?
yeah.
Yes.
Is it better than the original that I watched?
It depends on how you look at it.
All right.
I
In your
struggle
opinions,
with the producer's cut.
in your
'cause I think
opinions,
there's so much potential there.
It's what I would say is
I don't
this.
know.
I think the producer's cut is a far more coherent film.
okay.
It ties better into 4 and 5.
Well, it's just that the narrative is a little bit more
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah.
The ending is embarrassing.
Yeah.
In the
ending
producer's
is
cut or
the
in this
producer's
cut?
cut is not good. The ending,
Not good
but,
at all.
but it is a more coherent film. But the stuff they reshot for this one is just a lot more entertaining.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm okay with just saying I'll take the entertainment over the quote unquote substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, because it's
Yeah.
all kind of a stupid story.
And I like that this movie, you have to piece together the actual cut and the producer's cut to produce something that you enjoy.
I know. I felt like the producer's cut does tie in good with like kind of where 4 and 5 were headed with 6.
Right.
Dr. Wynn, Men in Black, you know, like them kind of protecting Michael, like the whole thing, the Thorn being passed on, which we'll talk about, right? But like I just thought the ending of the theatrical cut too just fit better than what they were like. Michael walking away and like, it's your game now, Loomis.
Which makes no sense that he's like,
a
I'm
normal
too
guy.
old.
He's like, bye guys, have a good day.
He's
See
like,
you later.
I'm too old to
What?
be Michael's caretaker, so I'm going to make a much older man the caretaker. It makes no sense. Here's a fun fact, and then we'll get back to the plot. The other version also kind of implies that Michael Myers is the dad of the baby.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an
Unless-
incest baby.
Unless it's like...
But it has to stay
a
within the family, is what I understand, because of the bloodline.
Because some weirdo decided that that's a thing.
That's the thing.
No, I mean, I don't know if what they were implying was that, like, they took his DNA and then it was kind of like, it wasn't that they had sex. It was like an artificial... Yeah, exactly.
An artificial insemination situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what they were getting at, but it is hilarious to picture Michael Myers having sex
Yeah, I
with
was
a
just
fucking
gonna say
mask on.
that. Yeah, getting freaky with just the mask on.
Or even better is,
that's it.
I would say, Michael
He just slowly unzips his coveralls. Let's get it out.
No, I think it's better if you have him at a sperm bank donating a sample.
yeah.
They give him like a magazine and send him into the bathroom.
Yeah.
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 Do you have anything
there's
violent?
a lot there.
What?
There's a lot. There's just a lot happening with this. Like, I think, because Lori is, if you look at 4, 5, and 6, right? Like, Lori is Jamie's mom. So, he obviously needs to go after Jamie to rid her of her existence.
Right.
But he also needs the baby to transfer, which I believe is trying to transfer the curse to the baby.
But no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's weird because in this movie they kind of
That's the point
up,
of the baby.
right?
Is
Like,
to pass the curse on through the bloodline.
but then the Thorn Cult is also eyeing up Danny. They're like, hey, all right,
Maybe
Oh, wait
as
a minute,
maybe
wait a minute,
as
that's right.
Failed effort.
Wait,
Right.
so would Danny sort of be like the Dr. Wynn and then they're passing the curse? So my nitpick does apply. So if they're passing the curse onto this baby, then if Michael's already killed the entirety of the family, then what the fuck does that baby have to kill?
I think it's passing the curse off to the baby to kind of take over.
Being Michael Myers, but they're saying he has to kill the entirety of a family.
Or
but if he's killed the family for the baby, then what's the baby gonna kill?
wait, or is it the baby is gonna be the new caretaker and Danny's the killer?
So now so he would be okay because they are saying Michael heard a voice, Danny hears a voice, so Danny would be like the new Michael Myers, and then that baby's gonna grow up. Oh, that'd be a really funny episode of the TV show.
To be the overlooker.
He's like, I'm like your
Protects
Dr.
the
Wynn,
thorn.
But it's a baby.
but it's a buzz baby.
Baby's just
nonetheless.
like walking
Yeah,
around.
I think that's maybe one area where they need maybe clear it up, right?
Yeah, it's a big mess.
And I think if Donald Pleasance was still alive, I think they would have continued on with the Thorn story.
Thorn stuff.
And I think producer's
Probably.
cut probably would have stuck because he ended up passing away during the filming.
Yeah, which is a real damn shame because he wasn't even around to do the reshoots.
Correct.
That's why I like it so choppy with like the re-edit.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you could see some.
Are
hard
you
edits
looking
there.
at me like
I'm
I
just telling you,
know?
man. I got you.
Scream at
Dude,
the
there's
end.
nothing you can tell. Look, in all fairness, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can tell me about Halloween that I haven't heard
I
before.
just
so.
want you guys to know I am so lost. Like the last 5 minutes, it was like the teacher from like Peanuts. It was I have no idea what is happening.
Hey, guess what? That was probably everyone's review in the 90s of this movie.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
There
other
was a
thing.
lot happening.
right.
While I had no idea what was going on, I'm sure people that like these movies loved all of that right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But you know what? Fuck them. So we're going to
Yeah,
move
fuck
on
them.
back to
Moving
the
on.
plot.
Fuck
So
them. Fuck me.
Tommy Doyle finds Kara's room and he's trying to break her out, and then spots Michael.
Hey, you want to catch that room number? 237.
And oh, that's awesome.
Did you catch that?
No, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's
Good job,
amazing.
buddy.
237 from The Shining.
Okay.
That's where they find the lady with the
And this is probably one of my like top 10 favorite scenes in a Halloween movie ever. And due mostly to Paul Rudd's acting and kind of like the score though too. But his reaction to seeing Michael and he's just like,
Is that where he's hitting?
yeah, and he's like hitting down the door, and it's just so like, oh my god,
It's like
he's right
exhausting.
there, and it's just like, because that's like really his first time seeing Michael too, so it's kind of it's really good. I love that.
it's like face to face.
And he's just
like,
like,
Yeah.
oh
obsession.
shit, I'm exhausted, but I know I need to get into this damn door.
And he's kind of like, he has like this weird sick smile on his face
I know.
that you're like, oh,
wow.
it's so
Yeah.
good. It's
Yep.
it's definitely one of my favorite like Halloween moments ever.
He's appreciative of how slow he's actually walking. He's like, okay, I can get 5 more
I
whacks
could
at
pop
this thing.
off. Yeah. So
And I think, and just one thing to add there, I did see an interview or an article that I read, and Paul Rudd never realized how big of a cult following this film has.
Is that a pun?
right.
No, no. Listen, it was awesome reading that or seeing his reaction from an interview they did. They're like,
Yeah.
do you know how big this following is on this film?
So he breaks Kara out, and they go looking for the kids, and eventually they find them. But first, they witness Michael killing a bunch of the cult members, which is like basically like, what are we gonna do with the cult? Just have Michael just take them all out.
But it's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's
It
awesome.
is awesome.
But I think at the same time, it was like, all right,
just
so
shows
we
his
have
rage.
these people who control Michael, and we have a whole room full of them. What can we do now? It's like, oh, just have them kill them all.
Yeah, and what's really funny is that like they're just trying to get the hell out of that Thorn cult thing, like the
Yeah.
writers and the people making that movie, because he's like, yeah, you could take those stupid costumes off now. It's after Halloween.
Right.
Like we're not even doing that anymore.
Yeah.
By the way, when Michael's chasing Tommy and Kara, at one point he like grabs Kara by the
through
hair.
the bars?
Yeah.
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 Her acting is so funny.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yep, I do remember that. Yeah. And that red light scene, where they're in that little area, that
Yeah.
red light scene is creepy.
Oh, it's so good.
Where it's I don't
Yeah.
really know you would consider that where they are in that area. But
It's the Dario Argento hallway.
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
How does he kill the one guy through the jail cell door? Does he
Oh.
pull?
Yeah. So they.
Oh, George Wilbur, you mean?
Yeah.
That's actually the guy who was Michael Myers.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like the guy in the costume, the guy that he kills against
is actually
that's him,
okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But how does he pull his head through the fucking bars? Because that's pretty
It's like
brutal.
pushing it through, yeah.
Yeah, pushing
Yeah.
it through and then knocks it.
Like he
back.
George
rips,
Wilbur
he
is
pushes
awesome.
it so hard
George
that
P.
the
Wilbur.
door
George
comes
P.
off the
Wilbur.
hinges.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the deaths in this were awesome.
Yeah.
Like as far as what we've reviewed, these are brutal.
Yeah,
I love these.
This is one of the most angry Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like he's like,
I agree
pissy.
with that. Yeah.
Physical.
Yeah.
especially by the end of this.
But they
one,
weren't corny death scenes. They were good death scenes for a horror film.
But
I was doing the math in my head. I think Michael Myers would be about 38 at this time. And I think he was heading towards a midlife crisis, and he's like, "I just want to get all this killing
All
over
this
with."
out of here.
what,
Yeah,
what
I'm
was
tired of this.
what was the very first death in this movie?
It would have been probably the nurse.
The nurse.
The nurse, yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
Love that.
Why is there a concrete spike in the middle of a hallway in a
I
hospital?
mean, why are bushes
coat hanger.
bushy? I mean,
Yeah.
we got to ask ourselves that.
It's actually like a place where people can hang their hats.
But do you know what I mean? Why
Yeah,
is that
it's a great way to
there?
look at it.
I like.
It's a great question.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, no cult hallway is complete.
I'm
without-
sensing
without one of those-
episode 3, season 2. Why is there a spike?
It starts off with the people building the hospital, and he's like, you know what goes, and it's like, ding, 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 and it shows them.
but it has a
hammering the
very
spike in.
harmless purpose at that point.
Right.
Like they were
Yeah.
hanging flowers from it or some shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got this crazy idea
Yeah.
for the construction of this place.
So then Tommy, they grab the kids, they make a run for it, and eventually Tommy and Kara devise a little plan, and Tommy tries to drug Michael, and Kara goes all Marcellus Wallace and beats Michael with a pipe.
Excellent reference.
Thank you. And eventually Tommy also beats him with a pipe too, and Kara, Tommy, and the kids all get away. and they drive off. But at first they're like, Loomis, why don't you come with us? He's like, I gotta stay behind and take care of a bunch of things. And I'm like,
Paperwork.
shouldn't someone just call the cops and be like, hey, a lot of stuff happened at this hospital, but Dr. Loomis is like, I'm gonna cover it up.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Just sweep it under
Yeah,
the
like
rug.
just take
Yeah.
care of it, right?
Yeah.
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 He always needed to confront him, right? He always felt like he was his sole purpose was he was able to keep him under control.
You know what's interesting about his relationship with Michael in all these movies? I think 5 is the only one where he has like a real true face-to-face interaction with them. Because in like 2, he's just like, it's time, Michael, and he blows
Is that the
up.
scene where they put nets on him and stuff? Or
Well, like, you remember like before, like all that, he's like talking to him in a hallway.
Oh yeah,
and he's just like, oh,
in
she can
4
stop
too,
the
where he had that
rage.
he had that kind of scene in the gas station too.
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, but like he never had like that moment where he got to like talk to him like a doctor.
like a doctor.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like 5. That's the one thing 5 has over all these movies is that he's actually having
Like a
a
conversation,
doctor,
and it's like almost
fatherly
like
kind
he's
of
like
conversation
listening
with
to
him.
him.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should listen to this guy.
That's
Yeah.
what I was like when I was watching 5 last night. I was just like, I actually really like that scene a lot.
Yeah.
Michael's just going like,
There are some really good parts of 5.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think like that mask just still always just irks me.
Yeah.
Like, I just have a hard time. Like Uncle, where he's like in the
Boogeyman.
Yeah, it's like
It's almost like I should have watched 1 through 5 to
Nope.
to get Dr.
you're on
Loomis's
the right track.
relationship with. All right, okay, good.
No, I don't
Right.
actually. I don't think you. You know, it's funny. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I don't
I
need
don't
to
think
know
you need
the
to.
importance of Dr. Loomis.
all you
Okay.
need to know is that he went back to the eugenics lab.
Yes.
What is that lab? I like that. Like so.
just for all you listeners, EJ just shrugged.
So
I
like,
don't know.
I like that.
Everybody
so
just
in real life,
collectively shrugged.
in real life at this point, Donald Pleasance had passed away
Yes.
for the reshoots, so they didn't have him to do anything in that room. So they just kind of like threw Michael's mask on the ground next to Herbert West's reanimator agent.
Yeah.
And then you just hear him, he's like, no! and they just kind of cut to a pumpkin.
So did they take that audio of him from the producer's
I would
cut
say
and
so.
Use that for that scene.
I thought it was a cat.
No, that was that was when the producers said, "Listen, we gotta refilm, reshoot some of
This
these
whole-
scenes. Yeah, we're really sorry. It just didn't go very well." And then he said, "No," and then they died.
Actual reaction.
And then he died.
Yeah.
They're like, you got that, right? And then a sound guy's like,
The foresight to be rolling.
Yep.
We
Thumbs
got
up.
it.
We
We
got
got
it.
it.
They're like, they were going over his contract with them. It's like, we have you for like 3 more of these. No!
Yeah. I mean that could be where they got that from, for sure.
and that's
think he's
the
dead.
end. That's how the movie ends, where he's screaming no, and Michael's just like, you know what? I've
don't
heard this,
need this.
for 6 movies. I'm
And-
out.
And
Yeah.
why is there green blood on the mask? Is there green blood on the mask?
Doesn't matter.
I think it's from the
And the drugs.
needles or the like what they used in the to
Oh.
shoot him up.
But
Okay.
like, it wasn't that much.
No, it was.
It's like when he hits him in the head with a pipe, it's like his head is shooting out fucking.
Listen,
Yeah.
Rory.
Gack.
Season 2, episode 4 will explain all of this.
TGRI.
Yeah.
TGRI.
We actually find out that Michael buys his stash off Zeke, and it's like enough stuff to jack you up.
nice.
Nice.
Frames.
Faculty.
Okay.
Faculty reference.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't know that. I'm just agreeing. Just trying to be nice.
Yeah, thanks. But with that being said, yeah, that's how the movie ends. So Vince, being the first time watching this movie ever, did it change your opinion? Did you end up liking it, or is it like your least favorite Halloween, or where does it stand?
It's a movie.
That's it. That's my review.
I mean, should I just leave it there? I
That's
mean,
a good review.
I mean, it's definitely a movie.
That's definitely gonna make the 4K edition.
That's gonna go on the
movie.
It's gonna go on the box.
Vince, young Vince.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. There was stuff I liked. There was stuff I didn't like. Some of it, I thought a lot of the dialogue was super cheesy. Again, I go back to thinking like, hey man, maybe if I had some context on what the fuck was going on here. Again, Rory, thank you for yawning directly into the microphone. Love it. It's late, guys. It's very late. I didn't find it. It's not the worst movie I've ever had to watch. I can see going back to 1 or 2 or 3. I think I'm going to put a lot of the pieces together and maybe enjoy this at some point. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was okay. Wasn't a big fan of the dialogue. Loved Paul Rudd. A lot of the scenes were cool. We always talk about, like, if you just take a still image of it, what does it look like? There was a lot of things that were, like, really cool. I love laundry murder. People being with what do you call it? Like, just laundry on the line and the mystery of that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's my review.
Good.
Question
Good
mark?
one.
Okay.
That's a good review.
Right.
No, I think
Rory?
it's fair.
So as far as the Halloween movies go, this is maybe my favorite looking one. I love like the mood, like the atmosphere of this movie. It actually feels like Halloween.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
I know a lot of them, they would film them during times of the year where they have to like resort to just getting like bags of leaves and just throwing them on the ground. But
Yeah.
it definitely has like a really cool look.
Or
to
living
it.
in the Myers Victorian house.
Yeah,
instead of-
the
Yeah.
Frankenstein monster castle. But no, I mean, I think it's a very moody, very just it's got a thing about it,
It
and
does.
and you're right, like this script is a little wonky because it's all over the place, and that's because a bunch of people thought they knew what to do with it, and a lot of conflicting voices made the movie that we got. And I remember seeing it as an 11-year-old, and I thought I had just seen Citizen Kane. I'm like, there's nothing better than this movie, and there never will be. Years later, I watched it, and I was like, maybe not the same sort of feeling about it, but I still like it more than I like the new ones.
Okay.
Very, very, very fair.
We've kind of touched on this, and like you can tell some of these movies when you can like almost sense that like a bunch of producers put their fingers in it when they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And like this is definitely one of the ones that you can tell like maybe people should have just backed off and let the people that knew what they were doing try and do their thing.
Yeah, it's
too many cooks.
Way
Yeah,
too many
cooks in the
Yeah.
kitchen, for sure.
And it's just like Halloween works best when it's simplistic.
Yeah.
If you watch that original movie, it is very simple.
I haven't, but the ones that I've seen, it's like the one. What was the one that I liked? The one with.
Halloween
Halloween
Ends.
Ends.
Yeah, I thought that was a very simple story where they turned the citizens of the town into the being worse than the actual killer.
Oh, I got you.
Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sorry,
no, he's
Halloween
talking about
Kills.
Halloween Ends. Are you talking about like that nurture versus nature thing
Yes.
going?
Yeah.
And Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the original movie, it's so simplistic and stripped down to just like, the elements of good and evil and just being able to survive the night. It's so simple, and it works. When you start throwing in a bunch of shit about like thorn cults and ruins and people in
Yeah.
robes, like it's fucking Rosemary's Baby or
Well, yeah.
something.
Every
It gets
night.
a little convoluted, and you start to stray away from what actually makes it frightening. But
Right.
I feel like that's a weird trope a lot of movies are trying to do. A lot do is the whole Rosemary's Baby. Like there's so many movies that like go that direction now. Matt, how about you? What'd you think about Halloween 6? Curse of Michael Myers?
Baby.
Come back to me.
Okay. I'll come back to you.
He's in the middle
Adam.
of making a pot pie.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
my feelings on this film. This is
Hated it.
Tell the audience.
never. This will always be my favorite Halloween film. I think it's I think there's so many shots that are just amazing in this film. I think the score is like the best score.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's different. I've always looked at this film as like such a dark film for Halloween.
Yeah.
Because to Rory's point, like the originals are so simple, right? It's just from start to finish. It's simple. You got your story across. There's nothing crazy about it. But this one is just so different that it's always stood out as one. And I think Rory, we were texting about like we ranked our favorite Halloween films
Because
like,
we're
this is-
just big dorks.
we're just dorks, yeah. And this is like
It's not that weird because we spent almost an entire day ranking Star Wars movies.
Hey, there's nothing
So
wrong
it's
with
not.
that.
It's fine.
It's
I'll
amazing.
get there at some point, but yeah.
But this film just has done it for me then. It still does it for me today. I always like wonder like if you took this same storyline with the same cast with the budgets that you can get today and build this same dark film today, I bet you it would be top of the box office.
Yeah,
Because
I
there's
think
so many well done things about this film. And I agree, like they had to literally go, oh my god, guys, we got to kind of like figure this storyline out because we're getting a bunch of shit thrown at us, so like we got to figure it out. And I thought they did a phenomenal job.
It kind of gives it its charm, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, here's a mess, figure it out.
Yeah, oh, here
and
you
they had
go.
to be kind of creative with it.
100%. And not too many filmmakers do that. Think about how many filmmakers jump off of projects. Well, I'm not taking this on.
Right.
Well,
The
even
director
like,
left. This person left. Like,
Yeah.
even like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'd seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right.
And it's like they set a whole thing up. It looked like they were kind of getting into like the Sinister Six, and people didn't like it. It was a little clunky, and they were like, "Well, we'll just start over again." And I hate that.
Yep.
Like, just like if you're gonna make a franchise, stop making them so confusing.
Yeah.
Like Halloween has so many timelines. There's so many different
There's
things
a lot
that they
happening.
do. Whenever it just doesn't go perfectly, they just start over. And I think it's such a it just lacks creativity.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think
yeah.
still always be my favorite. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I'm not going to add anything new to this conversation. But I'm tired. My brain's shutting down. No, I love this movie so much. I always have. I have so much nostalgia baked into it. Baked into the love I have for it. And just visually, man, like, I'm a visual person. And, yeah, the story sucks. I get that. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm not going to convince anybody otherwise. You won the argument. Yeah, the story sucks. However, like, it gets so many things right, doesn't it? Like, honestly, one of the best masks, in my opinion. And I will take a better mask over, a mediocre. Like, I'll take the shitty story as long as it has, like, there's so many things that work for it. Like, it's dripping with mood, it's dripping with atmosphere. That the holiday, like, itself, you can feel the holiday. Like the opening to part
Absolutely.
4. You absolutely feel the holiday. Like, you feel autumn.
Yep.
There, but like,
And an ominous presence also.
yeah, and the fact that they started with part 5. Daniel Farrens, as you said, like, he had a mess that he had to take on.
There was a
And
lot to untangle.
There really was. Like, they ended part 4, and that was a really cool angle that they were starting to scratch there, or get at. And then 5, like, they just like, nah, you know what? Let's have her have some kind of psychic link to her uncle. That was what I mean. There's people that like will take 5 over 6. Like they like part 5, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Like it's so stupid in my opinion. Like the mask sucks. Like there's no tension. It feels like, it doesn't feel like Halloween. And like whoever was in the sound department is like, you know what? I got this brand new Casio. Let's rip on this effects bank here, and like we know what this movie needs. We need these Looney Tunes sound effects, these cops, because there's so much tension. We gotta we got to ease the tension on this film. You know what? Let's just inject some
derpy.
Yeah, and so like, you're gonna tell me that's better than, oh my god, the story sucks. It doesn't make any sense. But dude, I'm sorry, I'm going off because I don't understand. Or like Resurrection. You know what? Resurrection, kind of sucks, but you know what? No, there's nothing redeeming about that movie. The only thing that people that complain about this movie is like, oh my god, the story is terrible. But that's all they say, because you know what? Michael Myers is badass. The mood is there. Like, the score.
The deaths were awesome.
Yeah. Like, it's of its time. It feels like the 90s, but like, it's so creepy. Like the shots of Michael when the thunder strikes and he's just there, and like there's so many moments that you have to look at, like when they're in Miss Blankenship's house and you can see him in the background. Like when the lightning strikes, he's there. Like that shit is not in any of the other films.
Yes,
except for part 1. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Everybody go back and look at the bathroom scene where he finds the baby. The fucking look of that whole scenario looks amazing.
Oh, like when he's opening up
shot,
all
the wide shot of him walking down the steps with the bathroom. That
amazing.
looks fucking awesome.
The build up in the score on that scene too is amazing. Where he's like, and you realize he doesn't have the baby. Like that whole scene alone is my favorite when he's walking down the steps and you get to see the mask for the first time as well.
The lightning. Striking.
Well, you don't really not the mask for the first time, but just the lighting on the mask. Coming down is like
it's a great looking movie.
You don't see his eyes. It's dark. It's creepy. Like it's so well shot.
I just like what I was saying before. It's a thing where because Matt, you're correct. Like all the reviews that or like let's just say like fan rankings. This was always like towards the bottom, and there's people who
never
I saw
it.
Resurrection, and at least that. No, stop it. It sounds stupid. Like the thing that's kind of neat about this one, as opposed to the newer ones and a lot of the other ones, is that like again, it was kind of creative. Like the weird idea that like. Michael Myers was like, I don't know if they're implying that even when he was a kid, that this weird thorn cult was like prepping him to go out. It's so much better if you go off that original film and he's just evil. You keep it simple. But I mean, you're 6 movies deep and you gotta try something. And it's odd. But I mean, I think it's a lot more creative and visually interesting than the new ones, which I found to just be aimless. I remember saying this to my friend a long time ago, with Mike. I remember saying about like how the original movie is like so scary because Michael breaks out of Smith's Grove. He goes home, and the only reason he goes after Laurie is because she's the one who drops the key off at the house. And it's like, okay, I'll torment you. It's just like fate. It's like in the movies, like the teacher's talking about fate. That's like the lecture. It's a very, very unnerving idea. But I said, like, I'm like, oh, it would have been really interesting to see like how the franchise would have went if it was just that. Like if Michael Myers wasn't related to Laurie, there was no like familial ties. And then I saw it, and I'm like, this is boring as fuck. Because Michael Myers has just got nothing to do. They're like, what's he doing? I guess he's going home. Let's go home. He kills a bunch of people. Let's take his mask off. That'll piss him off. Beat him up in the street. He kills everyone. Like, it's just, there's no story. But at least with this, as stupid as it can be, at least it's something.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Yeah. I'm just rambling like a crazy person.
No,
yeah, I was gonna say, I totally...
Yeah, crazy person.
For sure, yeah. I was rambling too, because I have so many thoughts that come through my mind, and I have a terrible time articulating, so I sound like a lunatic. So I don't even know if any of that made sense.
No, it did.
Because like in my mind, it started to make sense when if I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed to...
Your words weren't making it sound like a lunatic. It was you like waving that butcher knife in the air while you were talking. That really
that was
scary.
Yeah,
so I got get you to pay attention to me.
It's the only way.
I mean, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
No, I remember.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Moving forward, when we watch more of these, I will keep that in mind when I watch the rest of them.
No, like 4 is good.
God, I
Don't
hope
get me
is
wrong.
Resurrection that bad that you guys
it is
talk
terrible.
about?
It's terrible.
I think to date of all the Halloween movies that have come out, it is hands down the worst.
That.
So here's the thing: the masks will always take me out of the movie. For some reason, like if it's a shitty mask, it takes me out.
Of course,
like H2O,
it takes away from the feel.
It does, and I really do like H2O, but like that mask is terrible, and so is 4. I don't like it at all. And like they stuff him like Grandma's quilt, so he looks like a peacock. Like I don't know. He looks
the way
stupid.
He holds the knife.
Yeah, and they shoved him with pillows or something, and he looks stupid. And 6, they got it right. Like he was obviously eating cheeseburgers, so George P. Wilbur was a little heavier, and I like that look. And for some reason, they were like, you know what? Yeah, it's not gonna work. So they swap him out with A. Michael Lerner. You know what I mean? So and he was all slim. Remember, he got you all trimmed at the end. It's Smith's Grove. Yeah, I can't even. My brain is just going
you got it.
rapid fire, man. tired. I'm tired.
Dude, that's actually the same thing happened in
I'm
4.
going. I don't even remember
Yeah.
making any sense anymore.
No, you're good. The same thing happened
Yeah.
in 4, like, because George P. Wilbur, he's the one that kind of looks like he's got the hockey pads on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wearing hockey pads.
Yeah.
But
He's
then,
also
like,
a stunt actor
Yeah.
as
but
well.
but Tom Morga is actually the one
Yeah.
that's in like that scene at the beginning, like when he comes up from under Jamie's bed and stuff. And he looks awesome. I wish they maybe stuck with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I like George P. Wilbur,
I do
though.
too.
Yeah.
But I know like there's a part like at the end right before Rachel hits him with the car and he's standing there and he's just
He's massive. Well, it was also,
Yeah.
I think, a dummy at the time, so they could run him over.
oh, there's a guy in there. They just wanted to make
Or
him
just-
look
yeah,
like
made
I
him
think
look-
that was a call from Mustafa Akkad. I think he was just kind of like we wanted to look more intimidating, build him up, so they just filled him up with like hay.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is the only other part of that scene there is when they hit him with the car, but they pick up in 5 where he's falling through, and he's like floating down the river with a different mask on. It's like, well, where do you get this one from?
Right.
What do you grow hair in a metal band? Like, it's like so wacky.
He's
So
like,
there's
"Oh, no,
always things
water."
you're going to knit like that.
Well, dude,
that's
that-
His mask was waterlogged.
Oh,
That's what I think.
that director, Dominique Autran Gerard, I believe his name is. I feel like he got to make a movie, and he wanted to make I feel like he was making a different film, and then he was
that
like, "We'll
whole
just
film
call it
was backwards.
Halloween."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he was like he just wanted to make a movie, and he didn't really care what movie he was making because they're like,
It was like the
like the
Halloween
Myers
you
house
picked
looks
up
like
in
this.
the-
He's like, I want it to be a Victorian castle. And you're like, no.
No.
You could definitely see he was influenced by like Universal's Frankenstein a lot, because even like like him meeting the old man and the old man nursing him back to health and stuff. I don't know.
Oh sure, but
Yeah, I
but
feel
even
like they-
that was actually not even the. Did you know this? That's not even the original opening.
No, yeah.
Did you ever see the Dr. Death stuff?
Yeah.
So the original thing in the script was actually more in line with what you got in 6. Is that it's not like an old man that brings him back. It's like a fucking punk rock voodoo priest.
Huh.
Yeah, like using the thorn thing. I think that's actually the first indication of the thorn stuff. If it's not, I'm going to edit this out because God forbid it sounds like
No,
it's complete
you're
horror.
right. You're right. You can look it up on YouTube.
But I mean, that wasn't even the original opening. So I just feel like that director was just wanted to make a completely different film, and they're like, "You're making a Halloween movie. Stop it." He's like, "Okay, fine." They have a psychic link. That's not the franchise for it.
Right.
Right.
Again, like in the book, like Victor and the monster kind of have like a weird psychic link too. I don't know. I think he was like going for like a classic monster movie with Halloween 5, but at the same time, it just I don't know.
Maybe you're giving him a lot of credit.
Yeah,
not
I'm
giving
too
him
much
any.
credit.
No, you're okay, man.
My point is, they got so much right in part 6.
Yes.
And it gets shit for its story.
Right.
I agree with you.
And I like
100%.
part 6 a lot. I don't know. Like I would take a Halloween movie over a lot of other movies. So any Halloween movie, except probably Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Two things. Punk rock voodoo priest, they're headlining Warped Tour this year. Second of all, you have them filling Michael Myers with hay. I just want to. This is a multi-million-dollar production, and you're saying that this scene is so bad that it looks like he was
it's
stuffed.
pretty rough. It
I
looks like-
can't
like
wait to
a
get
bunch
to
of
that
sauce.
scene.
John, bring in the hay.
Yeah, it's
There's actually like a
definitely
hey
rough.
guy credit.
Yeah, that whole scene where like they're like Rachel's coming at him and he's just like
Hey, do you know why?
it's just, I don't know.
Do you know why in part 5 why she died? Because the director wanted a girl that had dark hair.
What?
I'm telling you, this guy wanted to make a different movie.
So
That's
he
my
killed-
assessment of it. Anyway,
He killed Rachel.
because he wanted an actress with dark hair, and you're just like, people dye their hair, idiot.
Yeah, like she could have like
Yeah.
got her hair did. Like it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Did anybody think about like if
liked
you were going
Rachel.
to continue 4 into 5 that he just ended up looking completely different as he's floating down a river? Like I just have a hard time getting past that opening where like okay,
Even
it's
the way he
it's a flawless continuation where
You're-
you see him fall through.
You're gonna find out season 3 episode.
I mean, somebody
5
needs to
of
explain
the
this to me.
TV show.
because
You're
I
gonna
don't-
see
he
it.
went from
Just
looking
wait.
like 4 was rough on how he looked, but like 5 he just got worse. It's like he aged over the film.
But I always laugh at that scene when he's floating down the river. I don't know. It always just makes me laugh because it's so derpy.
He's like bumping into shit.
He's just like he like does
Right, man? He's just like,
totally like 360 in
he, has,
the
like,
water.
he gets like stuck on a rock and he has to like push himself off the rock so he continues to float down the river. I'm like, what is happening here?
Was that in the script, do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
Boys
I
and
just,
the girls are doing it.
Yeah.
I wish
Waterloo.
someone should get the music from Bill and Ted when Napoleon's just going down the and just play that music. The boys and the girls are doing it.
Oh my god. His knife's just like scraping rocks.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That was a call someone made. Do you know what I mean? That's the weirdest thing. It's like, well, what happens? Like, also, all you have to really do is like, you see him fall down the mine shaft. Everyone goes
Correct.
home.
That's it.
That's it. You don't have to
We
have
don't
him
have
like
to explain
go
him going down the
somewhere.
river. Right.
You just because that's the thing. Like for the thing I said before,
He could have went down the mine shaft and someone found him.
Don't even do that. The thing with all you have to do, he's the boogeyman.
Right.
You don't have to fucking explain where he went.
Yeah, you didn't have
he
to
just
float-
shows back
float
up.
down.
No one cares. Do you know what I mean?
I just
That's not why we're here.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I-
just like Michael Myers. Like I'm telling you,
We just want to get scared. We don't want any Yeah.
In the fourth movie, he's literally just kind of like this thing in the shadows. He's like a part of the night, and it makes him awfully spooky. This one, it's like they make him too much of like a character, and it's like have him fall down the mine shaft. Everyone's like, oh yeah, he's dead. Michael Myers is dead, and then he just shows back up because he's evil.
Yeah, maybe the rest of the year he's like a higher functioning member of society where he works at like Circuit City. But then Halloween comes around and he's like, oh no, I feel real different. And then he just puts the mask on.
Boss, I gotta take a 5.
like again, why not just have him fall through the mine shaft? Right? He takes his mask off, or like you should show him as like a human form, like you've done in other films. Right? You've done it with him being wrapped in 4, and then the scene in 1 where the mask have him be human form to then go back and get a mask. Like even if he went somewhere else to get the mask, but to have the mask shift from what we see him in 4 as, which is not the greatest mask, but to go to what they went to in 5 is like anybody in their right mind, like us as Halloween fans, ignore all that. We just go, who cares? I'm focused on Michael Myers in the storyline, but I have a hard time not focusing on that except for that ugly ass mask.
Yeah.
It is like the worst. And I think I told
like
Don
grotesque.
Shanks that at a convention. I'm like, love you as portraying Michael Myers, but I have a hard time with that mask.
He's
It's
hitting
like,
the security button under the table.
he's like, get this guy out of
Yeah,
here.
he's like, oh,
He just has like a single tear
Another one
rolling
focused
from
on the
his eye.
mask, Danny.
another opinionated fan.
Oh my god.
I did what I could with what I get, okay?
Hey,
So-
EJ, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do our emojis.
Oh yeah, let's do that really
I
quick.
don't know.
All
Cool,
right.
yeah.
Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first if you
All
want
right,
me
go
to.
ahead.
So I have a bale of hay.
Good.
I have a little baby.
Aw.
And then I have a bus.
Okay.
And a thumbs up. Because it wasn't that bad.
All right.
Thanks,
nice.
buddy.
Adam?
I have a pumpkin,
Hell yeah.
Halloween tradition.
Hey,
Right.
pumpkin.
A butcher knife. I have a tree.
Ooh.
I have a blood droplet
Ooh, good.
and a pitchfork for the grinding thing with the.
With the hay thing?
bale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
I didn't like
That's
that.
good.
That's what I
Just
got.
enjoyed it.
I'm just going with the mind blowing emoji with the head explosion.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, that's perfect for
about
John Strode.
How about you?
I have an axe because it's probably my favorite kill in the movie. I have a bed with sheets on it for the death of the girlfriend Beth, and then a radio for back talk.
That's great.
I love
That's
back
good.
I got a lot of the same ones Adam got. I got a pumpkin. I got a knife. I punched in the number 6 because who's gonna stop me?
Yeah. No.
You?
Not
I
me.
got a man and a woman shrugging. Because I imagine if you ask a man or a woman how they feel about this movie,
They would just shrug.
yeah,
Just
shrug.
shrug.
Pretty good.
That's good.
Blood drop.
Yep.
And then I got a cat emoji because I was watching it with Ella last night.
Oh, that's
Hey,
cool.
Ella.
I like that.
Yeah, it's your story.
So, with that being said,
Oh,
let's
is
get
it over?
into plugs. Yeah, let's
it.
get into plugs. So, let's start off with our main man right here, Matt Renaldi.
Yeah, I'd like to plug Gravy Diggers.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Nice job,
man.
Matt.
I'm working on a new recipe.
Ooh,
Yeah, roasted yak. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
that sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm actually partnering up with Adam.
We are.
Yeah, we are. I ship him out to Central Asia to hunt for yak for me.
Nice.
And,
We're gonna have a dessert called slap cakes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Remember, we don't want to spill that. We don't want to give everybody that
Yeah.
away.
Just make sure you don't get Nickelodeon's gack in your.
Hey, real quick, I just want to let you know, we've been really like supporting Gravy Diggers
Appreciate
on
it.
every
Yes,
episode,
yeah.
Appreciate it.
and we do talk about a lot of the experiences eating the pot pie. So, if anybody at home has eaten one of the Gravy Diggers pot pie and you're coughing up blood, if there's like nails in your stool, if you find pieces of things that shouldn't be in your body,
Stop eating McDonald's.
you stop
Yeah.
eating McDonald's.
That's it.
And
Eat
go-
more Gravy Diggers.
Yeah.
Agreed.
If you or a loved one have eaten Gravy Diggers recently, yeah, go see a doctor. Or no, don't. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's all healthy.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
And anything else?
Yes, 3 Jack's Burger Bar.
Oh,
Which
look at that.
feature Gravy Diggers
Yeah.
Yeah.
chicken pot pies.
Check it out. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's Gravy Digger. Yeah. Come in and ask for that, please.
And don't be afraid to stop at the bathroom and go to the gravy hole.
Right. The gravy hole.
Gravy hole.
And then stop by the janitor's office and maybe I'll give you an autograph.
If you're not sleeping. If you're not sleeping. Yeah.
Right. If he's not making his pot pies, he's sleeping.
It's a very efficient operation.
Yeah.
And I'm actually the new drummer for the Adam Farley project.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right
Wow.
now.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now.
It's happening.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
This
Hell
is
yeah.
it. I'd be a part of anything with this man next to me.
Yes.
Let's work something
the
out.
man.
Let's get together. Let's put a little project together.
That would
Yeah.
be fun.
Okay.
All
Project
joking, all
6.
joking aside. All joking aside.
Project 6. Yeah, there you go. You just take an old band and you're like,
That's
I'm
it.
going to rework
We're gonna rework it. That's what people do these days.
That's true.
Rehash.
That is true. So, Adam, what would you like to plug?
Well, let's plug Frequels because it's my favorite podcast. I listen to it every Thursday. I get excited to listen to it, and I get so much fun creating graphics for things that we talk about on the show, which makes me excited as well. 3 Jacks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Plug 3 Jacks.
I've been there.
Hell yeah.
We'll plug adamandjim.com, which is a portal to everything that 1999 through 2003 brings back all your
That gap
fondest
that
memories.
you need. There's a gap in your
check
life
it out.
right now. Yeah.
I also want to plug AOL Instant Messenger because it's still around.
I'm on it.
Rory's on there. We tend to talk to each other from time to time, especially when he's editing. I have a new song coming out June 7th. You can check it out where all music is streaming.
What's it called?
It is called Carson's Song.
Oh.
So
What is it about?
it is about my son, Carson.
Oh,
who's
I was hoping
the
it would be
coolest
about
kid in the
Carson
world.
Daly, but okay.
I could have made a song about
It could
Carson
be.
Daly.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you find Carson in a bus stop?
I did not. Actually, I found a roll of paper towels that I saved that day. Then I
erased.
found it. Yeah.
That'd be a good song. Bus stop, baby.
Yeah. There was like a weird blood splattered everywhere that nobody paid attention to,
Yeah.
but those paper towels definitely came in handy.
They're the quicker picker up.
Hey, wouldn't
That's
wouldn't that be great if Michael went back with those paper towels and just started cleaning the floor?
He knocks on the door. He's like,
I just picture.
came back for the paper towels.
Yeah, I just picture him raising the paper towels.
Yeah.
He coaches it in Little League.
Good job, buddy.
Plays catch with him.
Season 2, episode 5.
paper
That backstory on those paper towels will be explained, including the blood splatter. But that's it. That's all I got.
EJ, that's
What about your music? The rest of your music, too.
Oh, yep. All my
Wait, you
music's
play
out.
music?
I do.
Huh.
yeah, I mean, it's fun. I play keys and sing, but yeah, my music's out on Spotify everywhere. Music's followed.
I was gonna say, if like I wanted to find you, I can go on like Apple Music and Spotify and find
Messenger.
you. Weren't you recently on a podcast? You performed a song.
I did this podcast, my favorite podcast, Frequels.
Yes.
You can listen to that on episode. What was that? 30.
Something like
Yeah, I
that.
think that was
Are we
episode
episode
30.
30?
We're doing that. But what was the name of the song?
30.
What was the name of the
It's
song?
called End of the Line,
End of the Line.
which you can find everywhere music
Yeah, I
is
found it
streaming.
on Apple, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So, yeah, you can find my music. You can also follow me at Adam Farley's Music, Instagram. That's where I hang out, minus,
Put all your show dates and stuff.
put my show dates out there, my stripper dates when I'm at the strip club. So,
Don't
Your,
text him at
your,
night.
your OnlyFans account?
my OnlyFans
Fins.
account, which
Right.
talks about all things that relate to animals in the sea. So, if you
cool.
It's a great porpoise in life.
yeah, listen, I love dolphins, so
Boom.
check out
Nailed it.
OnlyFans.
Yes, OnlyFins.
And that is episode 30 if you'd like to check out.
That was a good one.
It's a great one.
Adam's
Rory's
awesome
favorite film, Event Horizon.
Yes.
top tier.
Top tier.
Definitely top.
Yeah.
As far
Oh,
as
wait.
all the movies we've done, I think that's the only one Rory like really crapped on.
Pre-Matrix.
Yeah.
He's like, are you kidding me? The floating Coca-Cola that was like floating in the hallway?
Hey guys,
Yeah.
to be fair, I was going very, very easy on you.
You definitely
Yeah.
I could have gone
Yeah.
a lot
and
harder.
we love
Yeah.
you for that.
Hey,
Yeah.
your little bit about Michael Myers raising paper towels, I think that's like my favorite thing you've ever said on the show.
That is another graphic.
Visual of him throwing a football.
Like
That's
if you're
another
gonna,
graphic.
dude, if you're gonna do a graphic, that's
Michael Myers from Halloween raising. Create me a picture of Michael Myers from the Halloween series raising a paper towel
A roll of paper
as
towels.
his own child.
He's like pitching a baseball to it, and it's got a little
4
bat
different
and it's-
graphics of 4 different times in his life taking care of this roll of paper
Yes, a
towels.
paper towel and some milk. It's like, come on, buddy.
breastfeeding it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's burping it.
Throw it up in the air.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Them working on the car together.
Yeah.
All right. Vince, how about you, sir?
Teaching him how to ride a bike.
It's like
Taking the training
the
wheels
bike just
off
like
with him.
falls right over.
I don't have anything to plug. Sorry. Oh, Chris Alou was in here at the Three Jacks Burger Bar the other week. He's got some
Yes.
music, doesn't he?
Yes, you can find it on Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah.
Songs from the Hallway, Christopher Alou.
That is exciting. I'd like to plug Raven View Productions. My boy EJ's got a Twitter handle. What is it?
Just EJ Leeson.
Oh, cool.
Nothing cool.
We don't have a TikTok, right? Please tell me.
Oh, we do. I think.
God damn it. Why? Okay.
Yeah, Maggie, L, and Robin made like a TikTok.
Thanks, ladies.
For us.
Really appreciate that.
I got some stuff.
Yeah. All
I
right,
got
go
things.
ahead.
Just like what Vince said, Raven View Productions. You can look that up on the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and if not, well, I don't give a fuck. You can look up Fourth Cut Reviews. That's our buddy Chris Conforti's thing that he's doing.
YouTube.
We also got an APA Horror Fest. That's June 22nd, 2024. That's run by our buddy Bob Keller and Jess Mione. You can go to the Circle Drive-In in Dixon City, Pennsylvania, and you can meet Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen. And if you got something better to do, then I don't want to talk to you.
Cheapers Creepers. That's a great idea.
Variant Season. Our buddy Will Perna's band and Mark Janosch and JT, those cats produce fantastic rock music. It's produced incredibly well, and you should look it up. Most importantly, if you want to just ignore everything that I just mentioned and just look up Kitties of an EPA Pet Rescue, I'd be fine with it. Because the rest of that stuff is garbage next to cats. Cats are cute. Cats are furry.
You're just doing the podcast for this plug now, aren't you?
I am at this point. I just want people to get involved and help out those cats, because some of those cats are our listeners, and they are loyal, and they write us little reviews. I mean, it's usually just a bunch of like smashed together letters and numbers, because they got toe beans. They ain't got fingers like we do.
Tiny little paws.
But every time you help one of them out, it keeps them off the streets, and it keeps them on a track to go to college and become a lawyer or a doctor It's going to be awesome. So
That's
look
not
up.
how that works.
That's
but-
exactly how it works. Vincent Napoleon, Kitties of Any PA Pet Rescue. Look it up. That's where Ella came from.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I would just like to plug really fast New Metal Messiah, Jon Snow. He has the Eastern Tribute Collective.com. You could see all the bands he's a part of. It's like about 18 or 19 bands.
You just started another one too, right?
Yeah, he just started a new one. And
He was
but
also
does-
in our most recently aired episode,
Yes.
which is one
Yes.
of my favorites now.
Oh,
It's
yeah. that
really,
was
really good.
So funny. And then...
Only next to this one, I bet.
Yeah. And you can follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Eastern Tribute Collective, and you can see all the different show dates that they have. They play all over the place. So check it out. Also, in EPA Movie Mania, that's our friends like Joe
Petito.
and Mike and Justin. They all run this local kind of thing on Facebook where they try to do like meetups at movies, or any movie news really.
Funny memes. Cool
Yeah,
stuff.
memes.
Follow him.
Also, Mike
follow.
has Shanty Hill Design, which he's going to be doing something.
Mr.
Or did
Vinci?
he just
Yes.
take your...
He just
Credit
took my
card.
credit card information, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Bermuda was the last place I saw it was used.
So, all right. Good. And then next month also, in June 23rd, I'm doing Battle of the Bards, which I get to write a skit basically, and they put it on. It should be a lot of fun. So it's
Let
going to
me
be
know
at
if-
the V spot.
All right. Oh, with
awesome.
Vinny?
Yeah.
Let me know if you need notes. I'm available.
yeah, you come
I'll give you
give me-
notes
right.
too. Yeah.
But it's
oh no,
cool.
I don't want to see you perform it.
Oh.
I just want to critique it and
Yeah,
give you
no,
notes.
it's kind of like a SNL kind of weird thing where we get our prompts like Friday night,
Ah.
and we have to write something, and then it's performed and stuff on Sunday.
That's
Very
cool.
So yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
a lot of fun. So I'm
Can
excited
you
about that.
possibly work a Frequels reference into it?
I can actually, yeah. I
You
will.
think you could work like a fuck
That
you
would be
Vince
cool.
into it?
I will.
Which is great because that's the owner's name, Vinny. He comes here a lot. He's a really cool guy. So if you could work fuck you Vince into it, yeah.
There you go.
All right, I will. And then also make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure to write and give us a review, like 5 stars, on wherever you listen to our podcast.
Real quick, I just want to thank both of you guys.
Oh my god! Of course.
Pleasure to have you guys. We've been doing this for 4 hours now.
That's awesome.
I
See,
feel like
Rory,
it's
that is exactly what I was
worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you
dude,
should
I had
be.
work in the morning. No, we're
yeah.
going to
Yeah,
Me too.
tonight.
Yeah, that's our fault. Let me tell you, it was a pleasure
Yeah,
because
for sure,
you
though.
you
Yeah,
guys are
absolutely.
awesome, and I would do this again, even if you told me it would be 6 hours. You're a lot of fun. You guys are great talkers. I love having you here. Hopefully, we can do this whole thing again with us because you guys are a lot of fun.
What's cool is that I get to so I drive to Philly on Thursdays, so I'll be on the road early tomorrow, which is awesome. Which means I get to listen to you beautiful people here tonight, well this morning, and then I get to get on the road in the morning and listen to you beautiful
Again,
people
because
again.
we're that awesome.
Yeah.
So I would sacrifice. Put me here all day, baby. I'm here all day, baby.
What do you have? Head trauma?
You know what I'm gonna say? The first thing I'm gonna say to my boss when I walk in the morning: "How's your sex life going, huh?"
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, my buddy
Oh, yeah.
Tim told me to ask you how you're feeling.
Or get away from my truck.
Hey, what you doing about my parked car in the parking lot?
You should ask him if he's wearing crotchless panties or if he barks like a dog.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, we kind of skipped over that a
How?
little
I don't
bit.
know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Jeez.
How
But
many
yeah,
people waited
guys,
for that
out.
reference?
Cut it out. But guys, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for everything you've done. Thank you guys for coming on to the show.
Heck
We
yeah.
appreciate you guys
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
every single time. I have a great time with you guys. Love you guys. And with that being said, thank you guys for listening to
Crotchless panties.